Stadium. I'm Jeff Mulder, bringing you coverage of tonight's regional featuring the Vikings of Haslett and the Romulus Eagles. Both teams come into tonight's game at 10-0. And the loser will not be undefeated anymore. There's a lot at stake here tonight. The winner moves on to the state semifinals next weekend. And the Vikings have been looking forward to this day for a long, long time.
Yes, Evan, this has been a long time coming for the Haslett Vikings, and the whole town is here tonight. And along with Romulus, they've got a big fan support tonight, and looks to be a good game.
Yes, it does. We've got full crowds on both sides, as it is a very, very cold night here at Vikings Stadium. Both teams looking pumped up and ready to go. It's going to be a big game here tonight. Now, as we take a look at the opposition here, Jeff, they've got a pretty decent running game, and they throw the ball a lot as well on the offensive side. They are a very, very quick team. And Haslett has not seen that much speed so far this year, although they did see a great running game last week from Middleville. And you've got to think, though, that Coach Rob Port has got that defense rip-roaring and ready to go tonight to stop this Eagle attack. Now, as for the Vikings, they run that wing T offense, headed by quarterback Nick Shively. And the running backs, a great trio, are Logan Barnhart, Peter Ehrig, and Stephen "The Body" Shepard. Now, the Vikings have not thrown that much this year, but they've started things more as the season has gone on. And the crowd is going wild with anticipation here as the Vikings are getting things set up. As for that Viking defense, they've been honest all year long and been very, very consistent, not giving up the big plays. They've got a great secondary that should be able to match wits tonight against the Eagles. Also, the Vikings have got a tough defensive line and a good linebacking core. Now, Jeff, how important are special teams here tonight as we ready for the opening kick?
Special teams are very important tonight, as last week it played a big role, and Haslett picked up a quick touchdown to end the first half after a bad punt. So I see special teams playing a big role, as they usually do in playoff games as this.
Yes, the Eagles are going to kick off to the Vikings, and back deep to receive for Haslett are number 33, Logan Barnhart, and number 22, Peter Ehrig. Kicking for the Romulus Eagles is number 12, Steve Moore. And we're just about ready to get underway here. The official whistle blows, and here we go. Kick is deep on the right-hand side. It hops, and Ehrig is going to pick it up off the ground, trying to go up the middle. He'll be wrapped up quickly and taken down inside his own 25-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over to start the game here. Jeff, what do you think the keys are for the Viking offense here coming out in this first possession?
Well, they have to establish the running game right to get off here, and I think we probably see a little bit more passing tonight from Haslett based on the fact that Romulus probably won't expect too much of it. But Haslett's really got to establish a running game.
That is definitely the Vikings' bread and butter. Regular wing T set, and Romulus's defense is moved up. They don't have anyone deep. It'll be interesting to see what the Vikings do here. But they're going to hand it off. And it looked like the give was to Ehrig. And he didn't find much room there.
So Romulus comes out and looks like they're here to stop the run.
Yeah, Charles Thompson wrapped up and made a good play right there off the get-go. And the Vikings, picking up only about a yard, are going to have second down and 9 yards to go. And Shively keeps it going off the right-hand side. He's got some room. He'll finally be brought down inside of his own 50-yard line. And the Vikings move into Eagle territory right away. First down and 10, Haslett. What a great call there, Jeff.
So right away we see that quarterback keep out again, as it worked very, very well last week against Middleville. Shively had about 60 yards last week on that carry, and it looks like it's working again tonight.
Yes, it is, and it didn't look like the Eagles were expecting that. Shively calls the signals, hands it to Shepard off the left-hand side. He was barely brought down there by number 25, John Blackman. Now, Jeff, if I'm Romulus here, I don't know if I like this defense. They got a lot of men up, and if they get taken on a fake, Haslett could just walk into the end zone.
Right there was a good example. Romulus made a good tackle, and it was a touchdown-saving tackle, because if Shepard breaks that, he's in the end zone. It was all green in front of him there.
There is absolutely no one back deep for Romulus. They've stacked the line, and they've got all their players up close. The give is to Shepard again off the left-hand side, and he rumbles down to about the 30-yard line. First and Vikings. What a great run there by Stephen the Body Shepard.
Steve's a big guy, and we've said that all season, and he's showing his power right there as he's running through people. Got a replay here as Shepard goes right up off that left tackle and picks up about 10 yards.
First down and 10 Vikings. Shively. The give was to Barnhart, and he will be wrapped up and brought backwards. Stopped on forward progress right about the line of scrimmage. So it looks like this gambling defense for Romulus is going to work some of the time, but definitely not all the time, Jeff.
Well, with a defense that close to the line of scrimmage, you're going to see a few big plays.
I definitely could bust something open here with Romulus stacking the line like they are. The give is to Shepard again, and he fumbled. It's recovered by Romulus, number 8, Eddie Woods, recovered the fumble. And the Vikings, that has been something they have not had a lot of problems with this year, turnovers, but there's their first one right there as Shepard fumbled on the carry. It'll be first down and 10, Romulus at the 29-yard line.
So Haslett's defense is going to have to bounce back after an unlucky break there. Shepard put the ball on the ground, and Romulus came up with the recovery.
Romulus with a single back set. Twins, actually trips to the right, one split left as they get set to go here. Number 37, Boykins drops pass, and he is under pressure right away by number 95, Jeremy Telfor. Great play there by Telfor, getting a sack on the first defensive play. He's had a great year, Jeff, coming back to the Vikings.
You're going to have to throw quick passes if you're Romulus there, and only one back in the backfield, as we see here. Haslett's got a great pass rush, and if you're going to only have one back in the backfield, you're going to have to go for quick passes. And
same set. Boykins settles under center. And this time he's going to hand it off, and it's going to go for a first down as he handed it off to number 1 for Red Russell. And Russell picked up a good 17, 18 yards on the carry, and it's a Eagle first down. Williams was the man to finally bring him down.
Russell right there showed, and he got through that hole and made a lot of things happen right there.
Romulus with an I formation set now. Split right, split left. As Boykins settles in. And he's going to give it off to number 1, Russell again. And he makes a little something out of nothing there as he finally got the outside corner and was able to pick up 2 or 3 yards.
Logan Barnhart on the tackle there as he made a nice play to bring down Russell on the outside there.
It's going to be a second down. About 8 yards to go. Boykins with the same set. It's going to fake it, and then he's going to pitch to Russell. Russell trying to spin inside of Mulholland. It is not going to. Jimmy Mulholland brings him down. And he only picked up a yard
Jimmy
or two
Mulholland there gives up a little bit of quickness, but he always makes the plays when he needs to, and he brought down Russell there. And if Russell gets by Mulholland, he's going to pick up a good chunk of yardage, as he had a lot of room to run there.
Yeah, Russell a very explosive back, as he's shown us that already here tonight. That Romulus line, fairly big. They get things set up here. Slot receiver goes in motion. Dropping back to pass. We got a flag right off the get-go. The ball not placed that well as intended for number 5, Chavis Hamby. And let's see what this flag is. We got a false start on the offense. That is going to take them back 5 yards. Jeff, I'm not really sure why the officiating crew didn't stop that whole play. If it's a false start, there shouldn't even be a play.
Yes, I'm wondering that myself, Evan. Officials maybe made the call a little bit late and the play went on, and
definitely could have been a due to the noise, but Haslett is going to decline the penalty, and it's going to be 4th down. Now that is really odd, Jeff. Usually they call the play dead right away.
Could have possibly been movement in the backfield or something. I don't know. I mean, the refs know what they're doing, and there's probably some situation where they let the play go on, and that's probably what happened.
Boykins is going to punt here. Williams back to receive. It's going to take a couple hops, and it's going to roll for Romulus inside the Haslett 15, down to about the 12-yard line. That's where the Vikings will take over. Haslett unsuccessful on that first drive, but definitely were able to move the ball, Jeff.
Haslett was moving the ball very well until they had the unfortunate fumble by Shepard, and I think they're going to keep going to Shepard. I think they got a lot of confidence, and I think Steve's got confidence. Everybody makes a mistake here and there, and he was moving the ball well, and we'll see what Haslett does here in this situation.
No change in the backfield. Shively. And it looked like the carry went to Ehrig. He didn't get much. Maybe a half a yard. 2nd down and long for the Vikings.
If you're Haslett in this situation, you almost have to pick up a 1st down just to get yourself out of your own end of the field and not being punting right on the old end zone line there.
Definitely have to find some real estate here. Shively. And he's going to keep it again, but he's going to be brought down on the far sideline by Chavis Hamby. Moved it out to about the 14, 15-yard line. It's going to bring up about a 3rd down, 7 yards to go. What do you think Haslett should do here, Jeff? Do you think they should risk throwing the ball in this situation?
I think it'd be a dangerous risk, but I think it also could be something that could, with Romulus bringing so many guys up into the box area.
Same wing tee set. And Shively gave it to Barnhart, and he was tackled right away. Took the officials a moment to find out who had the ball, but it's going to bring up a 4th and long for the Vikings. And Stocker is going to come in to punt. Snapping long snaps on punts and kicks tonight for the Vikings will be number 95, Jeremy Telfor. He's done a great job all year with this. And here comes his first one of the night. They've got 2 men back deep to receive for Romulus. And it looks like the kick's going to go over towards Russell's area. And I wouldn't stay right by the ball if I was Mr. Russell.
Possibly taking a bounce.
It's going to be down at midfield. You never know when the football is going to take a weird bounce and hit you on the leg. And Russell was being kind of dangerous there, hanging around that ball.
A good punt by Mark, though. He didn't really hang there, but he kept it away from the 2 return men. And obviously both fast. We know that Russell's fast, and I believe number 8, Eddie Woods, was back there also. And
yeah, it was a good punt by Stocker, and actually did give his team ample time to get down there. Boykins with an I formation backfield. Sends a man in motion to the right. Fakes the handoff, and he's going to give it to Russell. Off the left-hand side, Russell explodes, and Williams the last man there, and he pushes him out of bounds. Touchdown saving play right there by Alex Williams, but a great run by Fred Russell.
He got outside there, used his speed, and got around the corner, and had he had a little bit more real estate on the sideline there, he might have gone in.
Yeah, it was a great run by Russell as he just exploded off left tackle as he found some running room outside and outran a lot of the Viking defenders. Boykins, his receivers, gets things ready to go. And he's going to give it to Russell again. Russell breaks a tackle and moves inside the 10-yard line.
So not only is he a speed back, but he showed right there that he's a very strong back and breaking that tackle there.
Ball's at about the 9-yard line. It's going to bring up a second down, about 2 yards to go for the Vikings. Excuse me, for the Eagles. Crowd getting kind of loud here, trying to urge that Viking defense to put a stop to Romulus here. They're going to give it to Russell again. He found a couple of yards. I think he's got enough for the first down. No official spot yet. Yes, they do. They give it to him. First down and goal for Romulus.
So very quickly, the Romulus Eagles put Haslett Viking defense in a bad situation.
The Viking defense only gets tougher as you go down the field. Remember, Middleville last week had some problems turning the ball over 3 times inside the Haslett 20. Man in motion to the right, and they're going to give it to Russell again. He's untouched for the touchdown. Romulus goes up 6-0. So Romulus draws first blood. And we've got some interesting antics from the Romulus Eagle mascot over there, but there's another look at the run. As you can see, Russell just went in completely untouched. Derek Plave is going to kick here. And his kick is up, and it's good. Romulus goes up 7-0 on the Vikings. And I'm not sure if this is the first time the Vikings have ever trailed in a game at the very offset. But this is definitely not a usual thing for them. They're used to first. And you got to think what Haslett's got to be thinking here coming into this next offensive possession, Jeff. Well, we're going to go down to our field correspondent in the stands, Allison Hewitt. Allison, who have you got for us?
Hi there. We're here on the sidelines, and we have a question for these fine people. First of all, we have sophomore Katie Quinn. Katie, do you know where Romulus is? No? All right, next person. Matt Friends, can you tell us where Romulus is?
Yeah, I sure can, Al. It's I think it's around here somewhere. Romulus, around here. I see it on the map.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Last person here, senior Emily Hilsey. Emily, do you know where Romulus is?
I don't really know where Romulus is, but it's probably near the Silver Dome!
Yeah, Silver Dome, yeah, that's where we're going.
Thanks. Back to you, Evan.
All right, thank you, Allison. And to be honest with you, though, I'm not sure Romulus knew where Haslett was either. Things getting set to kick off. Derek Plave is going to kick. I made a mistake in the opening kickoff. And his kick is going to be to Erig. And he moves up off the left-hand side. Bursts the seam and is then brought down at about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. First down and 10 Vikings.
So we'll see how Haslett's offense responds now being down here. And here's the kickoff again as Eric fields it very well in the air. A good kick and finds a little bit of a seam there and picks up good yardage to put Vikings in good field position.
They give us to Shepard. Knocks one man over. Falls forward for a good gain of about 5 on the play. So definitely showing they still have confidence in Stephen the Body Shepard, handing the ball right back to him. despite fumbling on the first drive, but that is a very rare thing for Shepard to do. Second down, about long 4, short 5 to go. And the give is to Barnhart. He squeezes forward to what appears to be a Viking first down. And it is. Good hard running there by Logan, Jeff.
Very nice hard running as he gave that extra effort right at the end there to pick up the first down for Haslett. And Haslett starts to move the ball well again.
Vikings running game has yet to be stopped this year. Romulus trying to do it with this odd defensive scheme. And they blitz, but Shively keeps it off the left-hand side. Shively out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. Yeah, right about the 40-yard line. So Romulus blitzed, and it almost worked, but Shively kept it. Picked up some good yardage on the play. Here's another look at it. As you can see, they tackled Shepard in the backfield, and Shively was finally run out of bounds by number 8, Eddie Woods. Now, Romulus is sticking 6 guys on the line, 2 men on the corners, and 3 in the backfield most of the time. And they're going to give it to Shepard again. He picks up a couple. And the Vikings pretty confident in that running game that they can move the ball well against Romulus. Bring up a second down, about 8 yards to go.
And Haslett looking to pick up some yards here and keep like they've been doing on this series. And
pretty consistent running for Haslett. And the give is to Barnhart. Doesn't have much room there as he tried to go off the left guard. And there's quite a crowd there to greet him. Picks up a few, but it's going to bring up third down and about 5.
Now you got an interesting call for Haslett. It's a 3rd and 5, and normally a passing down for most high school teams, but for Haslett, they're very capable of picking up 5 yards on the ground, and
we'll see what they do here. They've got more options. They're at the Romulus 35-yard line. They're going to give it to Shepard. Shepard runs hard, but does not have enough for the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th and short. Maybe a yard and a half, 2 to go here on the 4th down. I think Haslett's going to go for it here, Jeff.
I think it's a smart call. You're well into Romulus territory, and a punt could possibly trickle in the end zone, so you don't give up too many yards if you don't pick up the first down here.
Yeah, it's too long for a field goal, especially on a night as windy as this. Romulus shows blitz. And they do blitz, but Eric is free, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Vikings. No one touched him as he just blew off that right-hand side, and the Vikings are going to even things up with Romulus here. Great play there. Romulus blitzed off that side, and they were caught in the backfield. Shively had a clean handoff to Eric, and he just burst into the end zone for the touchdown.
Great call by Haslett as they came with a little bit of a counter reverse, and here's the replay. As you see, they fake the Shepard, bring it back to Eric, and he's, like we said, once you get past that front line, it's going to be all day. And
Telfor snaps. Saltzgaber puts it down. Dan Hoff's kick is good, and the Vikings even things up with Romulus at 7 here with 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Exciting game so far, Jeff.
Very exciting game, and like we said earlier, Romulus with that many people up on the box, and that time they even blitz. So if you can just squeeze through and get past those front guys, it's going to be a lot of running room.
They're definitely stacking things up, and Jeff, I got to think that maybe they should leave one man back deep, but they're not giving Haslett any breathing room, but that actually cost them there on the last play when they bet on the fake. So number 1, Fred Russell's back deep to receive. There's a look at Haslett offensive tackle Derek Johnson as he's being tended to. possible injury. Hopefully not that serious, just getting a little tape job done on the sideline. Danhoff getting things set, discussing something, I'm not sure what, as the officials get ready to go. Russell back deep to receive with Alfred Chadwick. And the Vikings, and Romulus thinks it's an onside kick to the left. Let's see what Danhoff does here. He's going to kick it deep. Russell takes it inside his own 20. Moving out to the right-hand side. Finally, he's going to be brought down at the 36-yard line. And a good play there by the Vikings, not allowing him to explode there, as Russell's got a lot of speed. First down and 10, Romulus Eagles. Now, Jeff, what do you think the Vikings need to do differently on this defensive series?
I think they really just got to key on Russell. The passing game really didn't look like much of a factor, and Russell's really been the whole offense for Romulus so far this first half and this first quarter, actually. And
he is the lone setback for Boykins. But he's going to throw a screen over there to number 2, Alfred Chadwick. And it's good for about 4 yards. The Vikings read it pretty well. Cahill couldn't quite make the play, but his friends stepped in to help him out. An interesting thing here, Jeff, is that Logan Barnhart is playing at the other corner spot. And with this many reps, you got to think he might start to get tired a little later.
Logan's a great athlete, though, and I'm sure he's in great condition and up to the task in this playoff game.
I formation backfield for Boykins. And they're going to hand it to Russell. He was nearly tackled in the backfield, but then he moves out for about a 12-yard gain. Good running room there for Russell, as he was nearly backfield but would not be denied. And that is going to be the end of the first quarter with our score. The Romulus Eagles 7 and the Haslett Vikings 7. Very quick first quarter here, Jeff. So we're going to get another look at that wide receiver screen. Cahill fell down on the play, and then there's another look at that most recent run, and Cahill making the tackle. I think the Vikings, Jeff, are going to need to try not to be so spread out by this team. They've definitely got to honor the pass, but they need someone to be keying in on Russell, or else he might be able to run all night long.
Yes, he's showing extreme quickness, and he showed that he's a hard runner. He's run through a few people, and Haslett's really going to have to dig down to stop him. He's got it looks like a good offensive line and opening up good holes for him so far, and Haslett's going to have to make a few adjustments on him.
Split right, split left, and an I formation for Boykins. Haslett in man-to-man coverage, it appears. No, actually zone, but they're going to throw it deep. Cahill was beaten on the play, and it's caught by number 6, Carlton McCulley, and he's going to score a touchdown as he just ran a fly pattern there down the left-hand side and had Cahill by a step and did a great job keeping his eyes on the football, as Romulus is going to go up 13-7 now.
And a great throw by Romulus's quarterback here as he steps back, sets himself well, throws it, puts it right on the money. And a nice catch there, and he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, it was a great catch by Carlton McCulley, as Cahill's coverage was not bad. As I said, he just maybe had one step on him, but a perfectly placed ball there by Boykins to give his team the lead. And we've got a false start on Romulus. That's going to back him up 5 yards for this extra point. Derek Plave made the first and is trying to make another one here, so his team would go up 14-7. Now, Jeff, Romulus has showed us a very versatile offense here, and And you've got to think that the Vikings are going to try to have to figure something out to put a stop to them. Well, here's the kick, and it's going to be blocked partially and no good. We had some early whistles, but it's just going to stand with the score Romulus 13, Haslett 7. As there's a look at Porritt talking to his defense. Gonna have to figure things out as Romulus has demonstrated just how explosive they can be offensively. But offense has shown just how explosive they can be too, Jeff. And I think we're gonna be in for a shootout tonight.
It's sure looking to be that way, Evan, and both offensives are just doing what they want at this moment. Hazlett's offense has had the one mistake in Shepard's fumble, which cost them a touchdown. We'll see if they can make up for that.
Actually, the Shepard fumble didn't cause the touchdown. It was after the punt. But it did cost Haslett a possession and maybe a Haslett touchdown because they were driving and deep in Romulus territory.
Good point, Evan.
Clave kicks it deep, and this time it's going to be taken by number 30, Ben Murray, but he'll be wrapped up and brought down right away by number 15, Aaron Broll. The Vikings will go to work from their own 29-yard line, scoring on the last possession on a great drive. Peter Ehrig on a 4th down.
So the Vikings are going to try to keep opening up those holes. The offensive line's done a great job so far tonight, and they've done a great job all season.
Shepard, wing right, Barnhart and Ehrig in the backfield. And they're going to give it to Ehrig. Ehrig moves forward for about 4 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd down, about 6 to go. Good run there by Ehrig as he had a really small seam, but still managed to get through it to pick up some yardage. Second down for the Vikings. Shibley gave it to Shepard. He was brought down by number 44, Charles Thompson. That was a great fake by Shibley, who was having difficulty trying to figure out who he gave the ball to, Jeff.
And it brings Haslett to another one of those 3rd down plays, and 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and they didn't pick it up last time. We'll see if Haslett's successful on this try.
They got to start moving the ball here, Jeff. You don't want to give the ball back to that Romulus offense just yet. And the give is going to be to Barnhart, but he's brought down right away by number 55, Rexy Wells. Wells wrapped him up very quickly, and it's going to bring up a 4th down, about 2 yards to go for the Vikings. And they send in the punt team. Woods and Russell back deep to receive for Romulus. Stocker under some pressure, gets it off, a high punt. It's going to take a big Haslett bounce. At 25, it rolls inside the 20 and will be down at the Romulus 16-yard line. So a punt that looked like it was only going to go to the 45 took a big Haslett hop and rolls dead inside the Romulus 20-yard line. Big break there for the Vikings, Jeff.
Yeah, very nice break there. Stocker put a nice punt up there, and his team was able to get under it, and good coverage, and then it took a very, very nice Haslett bounce.
So the Romulus offense comes out in a 2-receiver set. They got a tight end and an I formation. Boykins is going to pitch it to Russell. The sweep to the left-hand side. Russell trying to find some room. Picks up about 5 yards on the play. And we're going to go back down to our field correspondent, Allison Hewitt. Allison?
Second and 4. Goal line to be at the 23.
Well, we must have had some kind of technical difficulty as we weren't able to get Allison there. I'm sure we'll get her wired and hooked up here in a moment. But we've got a second down, 4 yards to go for Romulus. Same formation, Boykins. The long count. Gives it to Russell. He reverses his field, and he's got some room if he can get a block. He's to the 50 and tripped up from behind by number 30, Ben Murray. What a great play by Murray, as he may have saved a touchdown, as Williams was the last man back there, and Russell was looking ready to try to juke him out, but from behind came Ben Murray. A great shoestring tackle there, Jeff.
Great tackle by Murray, as you said, and shows right there that you just got to keep pursuing and get a chance to make the play there. As we got it right here is Russell gets out in the open field, and Murray just ankle dive tackle right there.
First down and 10 for Romulus. Fake the pitch, and they're going to hand it off to number 44, Charles Thompson, and he's going to pick up about 10 yards on the play as they faked the pitch to Russell and went with Thompson. And Wayne Butler was the man to make the stop. Actually, he picks up about 11 or 12 yards on the play, and we'll have a first down. So another first down for Romulus. Talking things over. So we'll have a split right, split left, and an I formation. A wing back to the right. He's going to go in motion. Dropping back to throw is Boykins. He's going to look long, and Barnhart nearly made an interception. A great defensive play. Barnhart got right up there and knocked the ball down. And now we're going to go down to our field correspondent, Allison Yoich. She should be hooked up now. Allison.
A familiar sight here at Haslett High School football games is the Chuck Wagon, owned by L&L Food Centers. These two ladies here were working the Chuck Wagon tonight. We have Melissa Reynolds. Melissa, can you tell us how business was at the Chuck Wagon tonight?
It was going pretty good. A lot of people came out to get hot dogs and bratwurst. Going pretty well.
Good. So Kara Crafton here. Kara, can you tell us, do you think this sale of hot dogs from the Chuck Wagon has improved the fan spirit this evening?
Oh, definitely. It was a lot of help from Josh Williamson and Matt Friends out there with their megaphones. It was really exciting.
Thank you, Kara and Melissa. Back to you, Evan.
Back up in the booth, they gave the play to Russell. He moved forward untouched for about 4 yards before getting buried by Brandon Harden. And it's going to bring up a third down and about 6 yards to go for the Eagles from the Haslett 34-yard line.
So Haslett's defense has got to make a big play here to get Haslett's ball back with a 3rd and 6 here. We got a replay of it. As you can see, Boykins hands it off to Russell, and Harden just drives him back. So big play right here for both teams.
Boykins sets his team and fakes it to Russell. He's going to roll to his left. Mulholland pressuring him, but he's got it out in the flat to number 2, Alfred Chadwick, and it's good for another Romulus first down. Cahill was the man to finally knock him out of bounds. But Romulus now is going to have a first down at the Haslett 24, and the Vikings have got to do something to stop him here, Jeff.
Well, Haslett doesn't want to go down by a couple touchdowns here, so their defense has got to step up and make a big stop on this series.
Men split left and right with that I formation. Handoff is to Russell. Cahill. It's going to bring him down on the far sideline, and then we got flags. We got flags after the play, some kind of a skirmish going on. Maybe a late hit by the Vikings. No sign from the officials yet. Personal foul on the defense. And that is something that we've talked about Haslett has struggled with all year, is mental errors on the penalties, and that is going to bring Romulus down to the Haslett 5-yard line, Jeff. as opposed to the 20, and that's something you just cannot afford to do in a game like this. Actually, the ball's going to be marked at the 9-yard line, but still first and goal for Romulus.
That's really going to hurt Haslett here as they've really backed up.
Not the situation the Vikings wanted to find themselves in with 7:54 remaining. They trail by a touchdown, and Romulus threatening again. Boykins is going to keep it on the sneak. And he moves it inside the 5. It's going to bring up a second down. Stocker was the man to finally bring him down. What do you think the Viking defense should do in this situation, Jeff? They got their backs to the wall. They got an explosive offense that can throw a screen or just run the ball right at you.
You just got to play hard, and you just got to hope you can make a big play.
Boykins draws some men off sides, but Haslett pointing fingers. An offensive lineman may have moved. We'll see what the call is. And it's going to be a dead ball, false start fence, so they were drawn off sides. And that's going to help Haslett out a lot, as that's going to move him back out to about the 10-yard line, where it will be second down and goal. Boykins checking with his receiver. It's going to be a pass play, I bet you. No, they're going to run it with Russell. Russell, he's got blockers out in front, but we've got flags down, as he's only going to bring it down to about the 7-yard line. Let's see what they call here. Flag came from the side judge. Could be a number of things. And we've got holding on the offense. So as we talked about Haslett shooting themselves in the foot, Romulus doing the same thing here, as that's going to track them back for another 10.
So Romulus's offense gives the penalties to Haslett.
15 yards. That can really add up and hurt you in a situation like this. Now you've got second and goal from the 20, as opposed from second and goal at the 4, which was where they originally started here.
But we've seen that Romulus's offense is very explosive, and anything can happen in this situation.
Boykins drops back. He's going to throw. Looking to the right side. He's got his man. Touchdown. As there were 3 or 4 Vikings back there, but they could not make the play. And it's going to be complete to Alfred Chadwick. And Romulus is going to go up 19-7 here on the Vikings. Boykins dropping back, just a straight drop, throws it into triple coverage, and still makes the play. The kick is, and it's good, but we've got whistles. I'm not sure the officials seem to be blowing the whistles kind of early on the extra points, Jeff, but it's good, and Romulus is going to go up 20-7 on the Vikings with just 6:45 remaining in the first half.
So Haslett's in a very unfamiliar situation here, and we'll see how they respond.
This is not an easy spot for the Vikings to be in. They have not been here all year long, as they have been the forerunners and leaders in every game that they have played in. And being down by 2 touchdowns may have them a little shell-shocked, but we'll see what they do here. Romulus's offense shows no sign of slowing down right now, and Haslett's definitely going to have to make some adjustments to see that they can stop them in the second half. Clave to kick off. Barnhart, Eric back deep to receive. Standing at about their own 20-yard line, not expecting a real deep ball. And it's not that deep. It'll take a bounce at the 22. Barnhart picks it up and finds some running room, but it's quickly taken as he is going to be brought down to the 35-yard line. The Viking offense has really got to get something going here, Jeff. They've got to get some more points on the board and get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one, Evan. Haslett's offense has shown that they can move the ball against this Romulus defense. The last 2 possessions, Romulus has been able to stop the Vikings, but Haslett's going to have to move the ball.
First down and 10, Vikings. Trailing 20-7 here, mid-second quarter. And they're going to give it to Barnhart, and he picks up a couple. But not much room up the middle as this Romulus defense is stacking the line, has started to work on the Vikings. As that one play to Eric was the one that was busted big, and Haslett hasn't seemed to find the room after that.
So a long 2nd and 9 here for the Vikings.
Shively. Give us to Shepard. No, actually, he kept it. Great fake there by Shepard, running it out very well there, Jeff. Did he get you?
Yeah, a little bit. Number 25, John Blackman, makes a nice tackle there. A nice open field tackle on Shively.
3rd down for the Vikings as they're going to send in a backup running back, number 30, Ben Murray. Not quite sure why. Actually, I do. I can see Barnhart down there on the sideline nursing his leg, and that could be big for the Vikings because if Barnhart's out, it's really going to do some damage to the backfield. They're going to give it to Eric, and he's wrapped up for a loss, and the Vikings find themselves in a very 4th down situation.
And Haslett's players look a little bit down right now, and if they want to get back and try to win this game, they're going to have to pick it up just a little bit here.
Romulus definitely with the momentum here. Stocker's going to punt. And he gets it away. We got a flag thrown behind the play, and he whistled for fair catch and then ran, and that should be a penalty as well. And there comes another marker. We've got 2 back there now, as Russell had signaled for fair catch, then caught the ball and proceeded to take off.
It'll be interesting to see what the first flag is for.
I'm not sure. It was thrown right in the backfield, right back there where Woods and Russell were, and not sure what that call could be. The officials conferring, and both teams over there very interested to find out what's going to go on here. Starting to get a little more chilly up here in the booth as the temperature dropping. And he is going to signal for a penalty on taking off with that ball. You can't call a fair catch and then proceed to go on. Actually, that's not the call that they had. Looks like Haslett's going to retain possession of the ball. Could have been a roughing the kicker. I think that's maybe what they called. Or a personal foul of some kind. Couldn't quite tell what it was. But they're going to march off the first down. Actually 15 yards. And the Vikings are going to have a first down at the 49. So, big change of events. Actually, we finally got the official call from the booth. There was too many men on the field. An official signal I'm not familiar with, usually quite familiar with what the officials are calling, but the 12 men on the field is going to give the Vikings a big first down and a chance at new life. And Shively's going to give it to number 33. Logan Barnhart back out there after icing his knee down for a couple minutes. He's going to pick up about 3 yards.
So Haslett catches a break and keeps the ball, and hopefully they'll be able to do something with it here, is to keep in this game and keep it a good game going.
2nd down for the Vikings. It's a good sign to have Barnhart back in the backfield. And Shively fakes the run and is going to throw to a wide open Smith, who was not able to bring that ball down. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long for Haslett.
Goes right through Jeff Smith's hands there, and looked like a really good pass by Scheibe, and he's got to come up with that catch to keep the Vikings offense going.
It's not an easy night to throw here, being this cold, and it's pretty windy as well. Romulus has had a good shot at it, but the Vikings, who are mostly a run-based team, they have a little more difficulty throwing the ball. Shively. He's going to give it to Barnhart, but he is wrapped up by 3 Eagles and is not going anywhere. Another 4th down for Haslett, as even with the penalty, the offense not able to generate anything.
So Haslett brings the punt team on again and can't capitalize off a Romulus mistake with too many men on the field.
And as the clock winds down to about 3 minutes, Woods and Russell are back deep to receive for Romulus. Plenty of time to get a drive going, and that's got to have Haslett concerned. Stocker. Good punt, high spiral, is going to send Russell back inside his own 10, where he fields it very unwisely and is then taken down by number 33 Barnhart and number 5 Nathan Cahill. Now, Jeff, I'm not sure why Russell elected to take that punt so deep in his own territory. Usually when it's that deep, you want to let it roll and take your chances and hope it goes into the end zone.
Yeah, interesting decision there as we got another look at it. A great punt. Russell fields it, maybe thinking his quickness will pick up a few extra yards, but it was not the case that time.
Russell is quicker than a lot of the Haslett players, but he's definitely not all that much faster than Barnhart, even if he is. And they're going to give it to Russell, who picks up a couple of yards. I don't have a 40s timesheet in front of me, Jeff, but I'm willing to bet that those two backs are pretty equal in their speed when they hit the open field.
I'm sure they are. These both contain excellent, excellent speed.
Barnhart's having a busy night tonight, playing at corner as well.
2nd and 7, right and 15.
As the Romulus team lines up, and Boykins looks like he's going to hand it off to Russell there, and he skirts out of bounds to stop the clock with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. And
good play there by the Eagles. Is smart running there by Russell. Get out of bounds to get that clock stopped. But it's going to bring up a 3rd down and short.
And there we are up in the
booth, having a good time. And there's Jeff's sign for Lucas Caldwell McMillan, and Jeff is his biggest fan. He'd just like to make sure that everyone knows that. And Vikings getting set here on defense, a big play.
Boykins looks to have the first down on that carry. So he picks up 3 or 4 yards and
hanging on to the ball. He's going to
move the
there.
chains.
This has got to come to a stop, Jeff. The Vikings have allowed the Eagles to continue to move the ball on them. And if they're going to want to win this game, they're not going to be able to let this happen. Chadwick split right. Another split left on an I formation for Boykins. Hands it to Russell. He's tripped up quickly. And let's see where he went down.
As Haslett's defense makes a nice play there to bring up a 2nd and 7.
Clock rolling down to about a minute and a half, and you got to think Romulus might start using some timeouts here. With their offense being as good as they are, they might try to get another score before the first half comes to a close. Man in motion. Boykins is going to throw. We got a penalty flag down. And the pass just off the fingertips of Alfred Chadwick, but let's see what the call is.
Thrown back there in the backfield usually means holding. We'll see if that's the case.
The official's going to confer. And we've got illegal motion on the Eagles.
So Haslett's going to catch another break here with a minute 15 left in his first half, and
The Vikings have been playing pretty hard out there, but I think this offense has just kept them guessing, Jeff, almost. They've got so many weapons that they've been using, and I'm sure Haslett will be happy to get into the locker room and maybe draw up those X's and O's and see if they can't get this thing figured out and get right back in to try to win this game. A 2-touchdown lead is definitely material. Haslett could definitely come back from being down by 2 touchdowns. It's not an insurmountable lead. And the run is stuffed by number 51, John, as they gave it to Russell, and he just ran right over him like a train. Great play there by number 51, Jimmy Mulholland, and we've got a timeout now. Charge to Haslett, actually. It's an odd call.
So Haslett looks like they think there's enough time that they can make a nice stop here, call another quick timeout, get the ball back, and hopefully put some more points on the board before this halftime's over.
Well, it's a big third down here, Jeff, and about 12 yards to go. If they can hang on, they will be able to receive the punt and have another shot. And what a hit there by Mulholland as he just hit Russell straight on.
We got Coach Port down there talking to his defense, telling them what to do here.
One thing that you've got to take into consideration tonight, Jeff, not only the weather, but also, we've got a shot of 2 Lucas Caldwell McMillan signs. Looks like there's another fan out there, maybe of them than you, Jeff.
I take the claim as Lucas's #1 fan, and he in turn comes to many of my cross-country meets, and
those cross-country meets bring in about 3,000-4,000 spectators a week.
Lucas is the biggest Haslett fan there.
As we just had a shot of Pat Thalen, who tapes all the Haslett games, up there in his elevated spot. As we've got a big third down, trips to the right. Russell is the lone back. Boykins is going to throw. And no, actually, he hands it off, a delay. And Russell moves forward close to a first down, but I don't think he has it, Jeff.
Extremely close, Evan, and they're going to have to call timeout for measurement. He just little burst right there at the end and almost picks it up.
They're actually They're not going to measure. They're going to charge the timeout to Haslett as they are about a yard short of the first down.
It'll be interesting to see if Romulus decides to go for it here.
I don't think that they will, Jeff. There's still 40 seconds back, and being on their own 35-yard line, I don't think they're going to do that. I think that they're going to have to elect a punt here just so not to give Haslett great field position to be able to kick in a field goal before halftime.
I think it would be a very, very smart move of Romulus to punt, but their offense could easily pick up a yard as we've seen before, but in this situation, I have to agree with you, Evan. I think they're going to punt.
If need be, in the battle of unbeatens, I think going for a fourth down on this situation would not be wise. When you're up by 2 touchdowns and you're playing in a game as important as this, you don't want to roll the dice one too many times, and if Romulus went for it here, that's just what they might be doing. Well, Williams is getting set, and Romulus appears to be going for it. Williams stays back deep, and the Vikings getting things set up. And here comes Williams as it's a quarterback draw, and he falls forward. Appears to have the first down. But, Jeff, I really don't agree with that call. If you turn the ball over there, you give the Vikings all kinds of opportunities to get in there and score. But the play is good for a Romulus first down. And with 36 seconds left, Romulus still has 2 timeouts. And it'll be interesting to see if they're going to throw the ball deep for the touchdown or keep it on the ground. They obviously did not want Haslett to have the ball back.
With an offense like that, the Romulus coaches feel very confident that they can pick up a yard, obviously, and show it there by a key situation, a key fourth down play. They go for it and they pick it up, and little quarterback sneak right up the middle there.
One of the weapons we haven't seen that much is the running ability of Boykins. When he took off on the quarterback sneak deep in Haslett territory, it definitely showed his running ability. And Haslett might have to keep an eye out on that as this game wears on. Porritt trots off the field after a conference with his defense.
Get a look at the big offensive line there for Romulus.
Definitely have a lot of size up front. Twins to the right and one wide receiver to the left. Boykins drops back, throws it long. Cahill is there, but it is caught by number 5, Chavis Hamby, deep in Haslett territory. And that is exactly what the Vikings did not want to happen as the clock stops for first down and the Eagles run down there to try to get a play called.
We got a replay here as Pickens drops back, puts up a nice ball, and Cahill's right there to make the play, but number 5, Chavis Hamby, comes up with the reception.
Boy, Cahill's been so close on both of those plays. As he's been right where he's needed to be, but the ball just has not fallen in the right position. But the pass was thrown there. It looked to be complete to number 6, Carlton McCulley, and then it was dropped and ruled incomplete. So we'll have a 2nd down and 10 from the Haslett 24. Boy, you really can't ask for better coverage than that. Cahill was right there and kept his eye on the ball. Nearly had it, but
that was an excellent reception there by Chavis Hamby and come up with that ball.
And how about Boykins throwing the ball that well on a cold night like this? He's going to go to the air again. Under pressure, throws it, nearly intercepted as it went off his hands, and Williams nearly came up with it as the play was intended for Alfred Chadwick, but the ball was too high. Clock is now at 12 seconds. Romulus still with 2 timeouts left. Haslett trying to hang on here and let that time run out to the second half. Romulus trips to the right. 1 split left. Russell in the backfield. Boykins is going to hand it to Russell on a delay. He's got room off the left-hand side, exploding. 10, 5, breaks another tackle. And no, they're going to rule him out of bounds at the 6-yard line with 4.4 seconds remaining in the half. And Jeff, if you're Romulus, do you just kick the field goal, try to get the 3 easy points, or do you try to go for 6?
That's a tough call for a coach with an offense like this, and good kicker. And we got a replay on that run there as Russell breaks a few tackles. Haslett's got to wrap him up there if they want to stay in this game. Had some missed tackles on that play. So we'll see if Romulus just kicks a field goal, try to go into the half with a 23-7 lead, or if they want to go for the end zone and try to put Haslett in a huge hole.
Well, it's definitely a big decision to be made here, as that big pass play set up all of this, and the Romulus offense has just been completely unstoppable so far tonight. And Haslett's going to have to figure something out to stop them here. The ball is actually going to be marked on the 6-yard line, and they are going to go for the touchdown. Splits right, 1 left. And looks like Russell's going to line up in a wing formation as the lone back is going to be number 47. Boykins. Last play of the half. Under a lot of pressure, nearly brought down, continues to roll. Throws in the end zone, it bounced, and a good call by the official there as one of the officials ruled touchdown, the other ruled incomplete pass, and great eyes there as it definitely took a hop into before it went to the receiver's hands, and good eyes there by the official as Haslett dodges a Romulus bullet at the end of the half, but goes in trailing 20-7. Now, Jeff, what do you think the adjustments are that need to be made at halftime here if you're Haslett?
Well, Haslett's got to find a way to move the ball like they did early on in the first quarter, and their defense has got to find a way to stop the Romulus offense. As they got a little bit lucky there, as a bad throw cost Romulus a touchdown, and Haslett almost made the play in the backfield to stop that play. So we're seeing a great game, though, Evan.
Yeah, Trotter came running in there on the blitz and just was not able to bring him down, and it looked for a moment as if Boykins was going to run the ball before he spotted his man in the end zone, but threw the pass just a little short, and it wasn't able to get to him. And the Vikings here in this situation, they're on their home field and in front of all their fans, and they're not used to this kind of a situation being behind, but I definitely think that they can overcome this in the second half if they pick things up a little bit. Well, for TV 25 Sports, we're going to sign off here, and we'll see you right back at the second half. For Jeff Mulder, I'm Evan Woodward. We'll be back with you in a moment. Hello and welcome back to the second half of play. I'm Evan Woodward here along with Jeff Mulder, TV 25 Sports, bringing you the regional final between the Vikings of Haslett and the Eagles of Romulus. Romulus came out strong in the first half, showing that explosive, almost West Coast style offense, picking up 20 points, and the Vikings ran hard all first half, but were only able to come out with 7. Now, keys for the second half, the Vikings, the number one thing they've got to do is stop Fred Russell, the running back for Romulus. He has ran all over the place and has picked up 172 yards on 19 carries in the first half, averaging over 9 yards a carry. That has got to be put to a stop as it wants to come back here, Jeff.
Haslett's definitely going to have to do something to stop Russell. Like you said, Evan, he's just done what he's want. He's averaging nine yards a carry, and that's unreal. But the unreal thing also is that he's had 19 carries and he's got 172 yards, and a real workhorse for this Romulus team.
Another thing that Romulus has been able to do is throw the ball. Boykins has already broken the 100-yard mark throwing here tonight, as Romulus has been able to get a couple deep balls and a few short screens as well. But they are definitely explosive. We're going to go back down to our field correspondent, Allison Hewitt, as she's got some special information for us. Allison.
Haslett, we not only have fine sports programs, but a fine arts program as well. With us here, we have part of the cast of the fall play. Here's Matt Viaches. Matt, could you tell us the name of this year's play and a little bit about it?
The play this year is going to be Magic Theater, and at first when Mr. Wongman told us we were doing this, we thought it'd be kind of childish, but as we read the script, we all ended up really liking it. We thought, and it's not just for children, it's really for any age. We really like the script.
Okay, and also we have Lauren Morris, and she's going to tell us a little bit about when the play is and about ticket sales.
The play is next weekend, Friday and Saturday. Friday it's at 7:30, right? And Saturday it's at 8. Tickets are $4 and they're general admission. You can get them at the door.
Okay, thanks a lot, Lauren, and break a leg cast.
All right, back up here in the booth. Actually, to clarify what Lauren said, the play is going to be the weekend before Thanksgiving, so if you're watching this, it's probably sometime in that week. And the play is going to be performed on Friday and Saturday starting the 20th, and it will also perform on the 21st. You can get your tickets early in the office. Now, back to the football at hand here. We've got just a huge first possession here for Romulus. The Vikings are going to have to stop them right away, because if they go down by 3 touchdowns, Jeff, it's going to be really hard to climb back into this one.
Haslett is definitely not out of the game right now, but they'd really be in a big hole if Romulus came out and scored a touchdown here. Haslett's defense is going to have to stop Romulus on this possession, get the offense to the ball, and the offense is going to have to move the ball down the field and put some more points on the board.
Well, there's a look at the Haslett sideline. Officials having a little conference at the Viking head of midfield as we get set for our second half of play here, live from Vikings Stadium. Danhoff is going to kick, and Russell is the man back deep to receive. They've got a lot of men up front, expecting a possible onside here from Haslett. They're going to take no chances. They've got a lot of up men. As you can see, Russell, the only man back. Still waiting for that whistle. Here we go. It's going to be a low kick. Russell's going to field at his own 20. Trying to go off the right-hand side. And he's got a lot of room. Exploding out to midfield. Russell to the 40 and down to about the Haslett 37-yard line. A great return. And that is exactly what the Vikings did not want to start this second half off, Jeff.
Definitely not. I'm a little surprised that they went and kicked deep to Russell. It worked last time, but Russell's very quick and very dangerous anytime he touches the ball. I'm a little surprised that they had Dan Huff kick deep like that.
Yeah, here's another look at that. Jeff, why do you think he had such a wide open opportunity at that right side?
Well, it looked like Hazlett's team sort of all converged in on Russell and couldn't make the play, and he bounced it outside.
Well, Boykins is going to hand it to Russell again. Nearly brought down from behind, but squeezes ahead for a few yards. The Vikings have just got to find a way to stop him. He is just running loose all over that field.
Got to look at Coach O there on the monitor.
Definitely got a lot on his mind here tonight. Trying to figure out a way to get past these Romulus Eagles. Second down for Romulus, about 6 yards to go. Got an I formation backfield and splits on both sides. The pitch to Russell, reverses his field and gets close to the marker. Be very close to a Romulus first down.
Will measure.
Got Russell there, cuts it back a little bit and gets right at that yard marker.
They've just been handing the ball to him all night long as Boykins has ran a couple times the quarterback. And the only other running back that's touched the ball is Charles Thompson, and he only had 1 carry. So the workhorse tonight has been Fred Russell.
Romulus picks up the first down there and keeps the ball moving, and Hazlett's defense has got to come up with a stop here. And
yeah, Romulus moving it down to their 26-yard line. And the Vikings are going to have to try to put some pressure on. Stop for this Romulus drive. Boykins hands it off right up the middle. This time they do go to Thompson. But he runs into a wall of Viking defenders.
There's a flag down.
And preliminary indication of holding. And that's going to bring him back 10 yards. And that really helps the Viking defense here, because that's going to bring up a first down and about 20 after they mark off the penalty.
So Hazlett's defense catches a nice break and see if they can capitalize and stop them here. Get the ball back to their offense.
So Romulus backed up quite a ways. Comes out with a single back, double tight ends, and 2 receivers. And they're going to fake it to Russell as Boykins rolls to his left, throws, and it is complete down to about the 15-yard line. The pass is complete to number 8, Eddie Woods.
That looked like number 6, actually, Evan Carlton McCauley.
Oh, my mistake there, Jeff.
He was wide open, though.
Yeah, he had a lot of room there as he came across the middle of the field. Picks up the first down. Actually, they're going to measure here as he's very close. Here's another look at that throw. He threw it across his body. It was a great throw. It was caught on the far sideline. Cahill finally coming over to knockouts, but definitely some blown coverage there. Someone did not pick him up as he just dragged right across the center of that field.
Ball's going to be at the 16-yard line.
And they do officially signal a first down for Romulus here. They're going to have the ball at the Haslett 16. That Viking defense is really going to need to toughen up here. Showing blitz. Hands it off to Russell. Nearly caught in the backfield by Jeremy Telfor. Squeezes forward to the interior line, but didn't find much room. Good play by the Vikings to bring him down quickly. Only a gain of about 2.
So Haslett's defense comes up with a nice stop there as they hold Romulus to a short gain on that play, and they're going to have to do that again here.
Second down, about 9 yards to go. Boykins. He's going to drop back to throw, looking to his left. Had a man, and Cahill tipped the ball, and it's going to fall incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and long. So the Vikings holding here deep in their own territory.
So Cahill with good coverage there as he bats the ball down and gets a hand on it, gives himself a chance to have a possible interception. And we got a replay on it here as Boykins drops back, and you see Cahill just jumps up there and bats it away. And nice play by Nathan.
Coming right over top, and Chavis Hamby couldn't figure out what happened to the ball. 3rd down. Fakes the run. It looks like they're going to go with an option. Pitches it to Russell, but there's all kinds of Vikings over there. Somehow he escapes and picks up the first down. That just amazes me, Jeff. There were 3 or 4 Vikings right over there ready to make the stop. He weaved in between all of them and picks up the first for the Eagles. So it's going to be 1st and goal. Wow, what a disappointing play there for the Vikings as they nearly had him stopped on the sweep. Excuse me, on the option.
Haslett needed to make that play there too to stop this Romulus drive, and they had the personnel over there to do it, and none of them made the tackle.
Romulus keeping the ball moving here. This offense has just been so tough to stop. And Boykins is going to run it, and he is not going to get by Mark Stocker. He's finally dragged down there on the far sideline, lost a couple of yards on the play. So the Viking defense showing they're not going to give in.
You're not going to see any quittenness as a team, and they showed it there.
They got a lot of heart, come a long way. They're definitely not going to give up now.
And as you see, goes in the middle, tries to bounce it back outside. Becker's right there to make a play.
And Russell finally brought down there as he tried to bounce outside. Looked like Mark Stocker was trying to pull a Ryan Pavlik as he was kind of trying to ride the Bronco there, being Robert Boykins, as he was just running very strongly. And it's going to be 3rd down and goal from the Haslett 3-yard line. Defense has got to stop him. Just to make a reference to Ryan Pavlik, he is an urban cowboy here at Haslett. Also plays on the football team. Here's Boykins rolling out to his left, looking into the end zone, fires touchdown. No contest. He was wide open there. And this has got to hurt the Vikings. Coming out for the second half, kicking off, and Romulus just marches right down the field and puts in 6 more.
So Haslett's offense is going to have to answer now and put a few more points on the board as we got the kick coming up. We got a replay first. As Boykins fakes and rolls out, and he's wide open.
And it looked like the kick was blocked there. So Romulus 26 and Haslett 7. Now the Viking offense in the first half was having some problems because of the Romulus defensive set. The leading rusher on the half was the quarterback, Nick Shively, who picked up 40. Ehrig had a pretty good half, picking up 39. Shepard with 25, and Barnhart picking up just 16 yards.
You're not going to see Haslett now, though. They only get better as the situation gets tougher, and Romulus is going to have to continue to play well to hold on and win this game. But Haslett's definitely not out of this game at this point, Evan.
Definitely not. A touchdown here would put them right back in the thick of things and in position to come back. They've just got to find a way to stop Fred Russell and the Eagle attack. Got about 8 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. The Vikings get set to receive. Kicking for Romulus, number 10, Derek Plave. And he kicks it off to the right-hand side. It's going to be taken by Murray. It's close to a knee, but he'll run it and is finally dragged down out near the 33-yard line. So the Vikings have really got to get an offensive spark here. Get back in this game. First down and 10 yards for Haslett.
We want to remind you that following the conclusion of the championship game for this region, we will award medals and trophies to the winning team. We ask all the fans to stay in their seats so we can get that ceremony underway.
Haslett sets up with Logan Barnhart at wing right. Shepard and Ehrig in the backfield. Shively threw only once in the first half. Let's see if he's going to do that here. Yes, he is. Coming out wide open is Barnhart, and he caught it behind all the defenders, but fell down. Still a great play as Haslett's going to move it to the Romulus 36-yard line, as no one was able to cover Barnhart on that play, and it could have been a touchdown, but still a great momentum builder there for the Vikings.
Exactly what Haslett needed to happen there, and Shively drops back, throws a great Barnhart, and he just falls down. Otherwise, he has 6, and he's in the end zone.
A great call there to start things off for the Vikings offensively. Shively hands it to Shepard. He's got some room. Picks up about 10 yards off the left tackle. And the Vikings starting to show some signs of life here, as they're close to another first down. Ball's at the Romulus 29. Shively sets things up, and they're going to give it to Shepard again. This time he's hit in the backfield. It's going to fall forward. See where they spot the ball. Pickup of maybe a half a yard on the play. It's going to be third down.
So a big third down here for Haslett.
About a yard to go here. Shepard, wing right. Ehrig and Barnhart in the backfield. Shively hands it to Ehrig, and he is wrapped up and brought backwards. I don't think he got it. Forward progress may have gotten him close, but
he looks to be very close there, Ev.
I don't think he got enough on that play. And it is going to be fourth down. The Vikings will no doubt go for it here.
We got a replay here as Ehrig gets the ball.
Wrapped up there by number 9, John Wester. Fourth down for the Vikings. Shively hands it to he barrels forward. He's got the first down on forward progress for the Vikings. Nice run there by Shepard, just powering his way in to give the Vikings a fresh set of downs.
So Haslett keeps the drive alive. And a nice run by Shepard there as he just ran right through people to pick up the first down, and Haslett's offense stays on the field. The
offense really starting to come alive. They've driven the ball down to the Romulus 25-yard line. Let's see what they can do with it here. Shively is going to throw again. He's got a man deep, but he overthrows Eric as he was wide open. And you're not going to get very many opportunities like that, Jeff. And you're going to have to capitalize there as the Vikings throwing for the second time on this drive. And both times there's been a man wide open. The first, Shively hit Barnhart, but that ball was well overthrown.
Eric found himself wide open there, and if Shively dove from the ball, he's in the end zone.
Vikings with Shepard wing to the right. Eric and Barnhart in that backfield. They're going to give it to Barnhart. He's got some room. Barnhart breaks through a tackler and moves his way down to about the 11-yard line. First down, Vikings. Look out, Eagles. The Vikings are not going to give up yet. Here come the Vikings moving at just a ferocious pace here, Jeff. They're not wasting any time getting those plays called right away. Same formation. Shively gives it to Barnhart again. He's got a touchdown. Not even touched till he got to the end zone. Great blocking there as Shepard moved his man right out of the way. And the Vikings put 6 more up on the board. It's going to move them to 26-13 to attempt the extra point here. Great running there by Barnhart. He didn't have the first half that he wanted, so he came right out, caught that ball, and then ran that one in for the score. Telford to snap. Saltz gave her to hold. Danhoff to check. Nearly blocked, but he gets it up, and it's good. The Vikings pulling within 12 late in the third quarter. So the Vikings have put themselves in position to come right back into this game, Jeff. And what do you think they're going to have to do here on defense, though, to finally stop Fred Russell?
Well, they just got to keep playing hard, and they can't have missed tackles. They've had too many missed tackles so far in this game, and the missed tackles have allowed Russell to pick up a few extra yards each time. As we saw in the last play, they had 4 people there to tackle him, and Russell picked up a first down and ended up leading to a touchdown for Romulus. Be interesting to see if J.J. Danhoff kicks deep here, Evan.
I don't think that he's going to this time, Jeff. Russell is just way too fast. Danhoff will probably kick it to one side or the other, and I wouldn't be surprised to see an onside here from Haslett. Apparently neither is Romulus, as they've got those men up there really close again. He's going to kick it out of bounds. And right into the band, as it appeared to hit the saxophone player, Tyler Riggs, down there on the Vikings sideline. And if he was trying to get the band to stop playing, he did succeed in doing that. So Romulus is going to take over at the 35.
Not a bad play by J.J. there. Give Romulus no chance for any return there, and they're going to take over at the 35.
Definitely don't want to take any chances. Vikings are going to be able to mount a comeback here, Jeff. They've got to stop this offense. I formation. Split left, split right for Romulus. Boykins dropping back. He's going to throw. Far sideline. It is complete to number 6, Carlton McCulley. And first down for the Eagles as they just come right out, go back to the air, and pick up some good yardage.
As they go out to the air there, and Boykins completes another pass to the outside, another fade pattern.
It's been throwing quite well tonight, Jeff.
Romulus comes up to the line here. Boykins got splits to each side and I formation.
Going to hand it off to Russell off the left-hand side. Finally dragged down about the 26.
Russell, tackle on the play, Ben Murray.
Murray was the man to make the stop. Clock rolls inside of 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter.
28-yard line, second down.
Ball marked at the 28, and it's second down for Romulus. Boykins with that I formation set. Haslett showing blitz. Russell off left tackle, brought down by Harden and a few other guys for the Vikings, but picks up the first down. We're going to go down to Allison Hewitt on the sideline. Allison.
We now have a very exciting story for you on these heaters, which are keeping our football players warm this evening. These heaters are rented from Aggregate Equipment and Supply and emit 35,000 BTUs of heat. They are also run on kerosene, and according to ball boy Mike Dalen, they keep everyone quite toasty. Back to you, Evan.
I actually got the pleasure of experiencing one of those heaters in last week's game. Boykins is going to roll out to the right and run for about 4 or 5 yards. Yes, Jeff, as I was saying, that heater was quite warm when I went down there to do the interview with the coach. I stood in front of it for a good minute or two and warmed me right up. I wouldn't mind to have one up here.
Would be nice.
It's not any warmer up here as all the windows of the press box are taken out so as not to distort camera angles and shots. Second down for Romulus. Boykins hands it off to Russell. Russell squirts forward, appears to have another first down. Let's see where they mark it. Yes, they give it to him. And the Romulus offense continues to move the ball very effectively on Haslett.
Just outside the 10-yard line. First and 10.
First down and 10. Romulus can still get a first down, but it'd be inside the Haslett 1. Boykins. He's going to hand it to Russell. Russell stood up right at the line and brought down. Not a lot of room there as the Vikings close that hole up very quickly, Jeff.
Haslett needs to keep doing that, and they'll get the ball back there, and their offense moved the ball very well in the last possession, but Romulus' offense continues to move the ball well, but a good stop there as they plug up the hole and hold Romulus to a 1-yard gain.
Great play there by the defense. Second down. Boykins is going to throw. Looking to his right. Got a man in the end zone, but trips up, and Barnhart knocked it away, and he caught the ball. Actually, the receiver did, but he was out of bounds, well behind that back end zone line. So it's going to bring up a third down for Romulus. Good play there by Barnhart to knock the ball away.
Great defense there by Logan. We got to look at the last play when Brandon Harden stepped up in that hole and just hammered Fred Russell to put a stop to his run on that play.
Third down. Crowd starting to get up here. And they're going to pitch it to Russell on the left-hand side. He's got 2 lead blockers, slips, still moves away, keeping his balance. An amazing run and a touchdown for Romulus. And that Viking sideline just says it all down there, extremely dejected, as Romulus has just scored another touchdown to go up 2-14. And there were 5 guys all around him, and there have been missed tackles on Fred Russell all night. But that was just unacceptable, Jeff, as he just eluded every Viking tackler, and they all had him in his grasp at one point or another.
You got to make tackles when you got a grasp on him there, and a lot of guys had him.
And they're going to fake the extra point and get 2, as it was run there by number 6, Carlton McCulley. Romulus goes up 34-14.
Just got a replay on that touchdown here, and Boykins hands it off to Russell. No, this is, sorry, this is there's the touchdown. Is he slips, and right there you got a glimpse of a few of the missed tackles on that play, and Haslett's going to have to come up with that play if they want to win this game.
Russell's showing just how good he is there, keeping his balance very well. The Vikings have got to be frustrated here. Romulus has scored on their last 5 possessions, I think, Jeff, is the number. Maybe 5 of the last 6. But the Vikings have just not been able to stop that attack. And the Viking offense has been playing pretty well, especially here in the second half. But unless Romulus can be stopped, the Vikings won't be able to mount a comeback. Derek Plave to kick again. Barnhart and Ehrig are up pretty far at their own 25. And there is the kick. It's going to go to Barnhart. And he waits for a moment, looking for room. And he had it and brings it out to the 40-yard line. Good return there by Barnhart. And the Vikings will have some good field position to start this drive off.
Haslett's definitely not going to give up, and they're going to keep coming after right here. And their offense moved the ball very, very well in that last series, Evan.
Yeah, they definitely showed that they can move the ball in this Romulus defense. We got a late substitution here for the Vikings. Looks like Ben Brook, number 63. As the offense gets set up here. Wing left is Ehrig. The handoff to Shepard, reverses it to Ehrig, and he slips. Picking up about a yard on the play. It's going to be 2nd and long for the Vikings. Good call there, but unable to hold his balance was Ehrig. It looks like it's been getting kind of slippery down there, Jeff.
Possibly looks like the field getting a little bit wet, a little dew on the field, and caused Ehrig to fall there.
Same formation for the Vikings. Shively's going to give it to Barnhart, and he fumbled, but the official's going to say down, as he only picked up about 2 yards on the play. Maybe 3. It's going to be 3rd down for Haslett. The offense has got to do something here, Jeff.
Yeah, Haslett's offense has to come up with a big play here on this 3rd down possession. Got to pick up a 1st down.
And Shively's going to throw, looking to Jeff Smith, and he underthrew him there. And the Vikings are going to be stuck with a rough 4th down situation here. And it looks like they're going to go for it. Definitely what you got to do here, Jeff.
Yeah, the clock's ticking down to now where it's going to be 4 down territory wherever Haslett's at, pretty much.
Inside of a minute left to play in the 3rd quarter. Haslett trailing Romulus 34-14. Shively gives it to Ehrig. He's going to throw it. Ehrig looking for Smith, nearly caught, and he was hit from behind by Carlton McCulley, excuse me. And Ehrig threw a great ball there, but play didn't work, and Romulus will take over.
Excellent coverage there by Romulus, as it looked like Haslett only had 1 man on the route, and there was 3 or 4 Romulus players, and we'll get another chance to see as Ehrig drops back here, and we got 3 Romulus players right around Jeff Smith, and they hit the ball and knock it free, and Romulus is going to take over inside Haslett territory.
So the Eagles looking to put the final nail into the coffin here. It's kind of early to do that, but the Vikings are down by 20 points here, and if Romulus puts up another, I don't think that the Vikings are going to be able to come back from a 4-touchdown lead, Jeff.
They definitely make it very, very hard. So Haslett's defense has to stop them on this series.
We've got a false start call against the Eagles. That'll take them back 5 yards. First and 15. I formation. And splits right and left for Boykins. He's going to hand it to Russell. Russell breaks a tackle. Still moving, 40, 35, dragged out of bounds by Williams. And a little contact after the play. No flags from the officials. But he escaped a Cahill tackle there on the far side and picked up some good yardage for the first down.
More missed tackles on that play, Evan, and that's been a big hurt for Haslett tonight.
Look at the Romulus huddle. You can see just how big those offensive linemen are. Boykins looking to his right. Throws the ball short, and it's incomplete. Barnhart had some good coverage on the play as the ball was not placed that well. It was intended for number 2, Alfred Chadwick. And it's going to bring up a second down here for the Eagles.
Very nice defense by Logan on that one. We're going to get a replay as Boykins lofted up there, just a little bit underthrown, but Logan gets up there and bats it down.
Crowd trying to get Haslett pumped up here as Romulus faces a second down and 10 yards to go. Boykins hands it to Russell, and he is going to move forward for about 3, but we've got flags down again. Could be early movement or holding, but this one's going to be on the Eagles, Jeff. Holding on the offense. Discussing with the Haslett captains there. I'm sure they'll accept this penalty.
And the officials are going to march it off.
They'll march off those 10 yards. The captains were trying to talk with Coach Port there and figure out if they should decline the penalty or not. They finally got the call in and accepted it. Second down and long. Boykins. Drops back to throw. He's got a man open and his defender falls. Pass was complete to Chadwick. And he picks up about 15 yards. A good play there by the Eagles. But that is going to bring an end to the third quarter with our score. The Romulus Eagles 34, the Haslett Vikings 14.
Got another look here as Boykins throws a little out pattern. And the defender falls down and then has a lay. So a big third down here for Haslett if they want to stay in the game. And very exciting third quarter as we saw 3 touchdowns put up on the board. 2 by Romulus, 1 by Haslett. And at the end of the third quarter, as Evan said, the score is 34-14 in favor of Romulus. And Haslett's defense has got a big 3rd and 7 coming up here.
Romulus has plagued themselves on this drive with penalties. And if they want to take this game away from Haslett and keep Haslett out of it, they're going to have to score here, because otherwise the Vikings are just going to come right back at them, because they will not go away. Boykins. Looks like he's just going to pass. And we've got a penalty marker down here. It's definitely going to be a false start or an offside call. Referee signaling. Actually, illegal motion against Romulus. Take him back 5, 3rd down.
So Haslett gets a little help as Romulus has had a lot of those penalties tonight, Evan.
Yeah, they've really started to pick them up, especially in the second half. Their offenses still look good, but not quite as sharp as they did in the first. Dropping back to throw is Boykins. Puts up a great ball. And number 8, Eddie Woods, was not able to find it. As he and Cahill were going at it down there by the Viking goal line, but it's going to bring up a 4th and long for Romulus.
So Haslett's defense comes up with a stop and keeps their team in this game.
And a big stop at that, Jeff. Romulus shooting themselves in the foot with those penalties, and Haslett able to capitalize. Here's the punt. Boykins is going to punt. He's got some pressure. Gets it off. No one is back to receive for Haslett, but it's going to take a big Romulus bounce down to about the 11-yard line. That's where they'll take over 1st down and 10.
So a bad punt by Romulus, but takes a nice bounce, and Haslett's got bad field position to start this drive.
11:43 remaining for Haslett to try to come back from this deficit. Ehrig, wing left. Barnhart, Shepard in the backfield. There's the handoff to Barnhart. He's got a lot of room. He's got one man to beat. And he's going to move it inside the 45. A great run by Barnhart. He couldn't number 5, Chavis Hamby, but still, what a play for the Vikings as Barnhart picks up another big run.
So a big play for Haslett as they get a lot of the yards back.
Move it to about the 43-yard line. And there's another look as Barnhart had a great hole in the middle, cut it back to the right-hand side, and was unable to outrun that last defender, but a great play there for Haslett. And Shepard uncovers, and he's got a lot of room. Shepard to the 15, out of bounds at the 10-yard line. 1st down, Vikings. Stephen "the Body" Shepard with a great run there. The Vikings starting to see a lot of daylight in that linebacking core, and they're finally opening up some holes. First down and 10 from the Romulus 11-yard line. Shively. Keeps the ball, and he will be upended, though, right about the line of scrimmage by number 25, John Blackman. It's going to bring up a 2nd down. Shively with no gain on the play.
Clock under 11 minutes now.
Shively. Gonna hand it to Ehrig, and he moves the ball to about the 5-yard line. There were some good fakes there, and it was hard to see who had it. It's gonna bring up 3rd down for the Vikes. The line to make is the 1-yard line. They give us to Barnhart. He's got a touchdown. And the Vikings refusing to go away as they trail now 34-20 before they send on their kicker to try to get another extra point.
Logan with a great run as he found a nice hole and easy trot to the end zone there, and Romulus' defense looks like it's getting a little bit tired there, Evan.
Yeah, the Vikings really opened up the running game as that drive started down at about their own 10-yard line, and it took them all of 4 or 5 plays to get down there for the touchdown. Just starting to look like the Viking offense we're used to, and Haslett pulling within 13 points of the Romulus Eagles here in the fourth quarter.
With 10 minutes left, there's game time left, and this one is definitely not over. Haslett with a great drive.
It's a 2-possession lead for Romulus, and you got to think onside kick here for the Vikings. There's a look at Coach Otluski talking to his quarterback, Nick Shively. And the Viking kickoff team getting set for what may be a big onside kick. I don't see why you would do anything else in this situation, Jeff. You're down by 2 scores, and 10 minutes, although it is a lot of time, is not an eternity. And I would think you just want to go for the onside kick here and try to get things rolling. Because if you don't, that Romulus offense can eat up a lot of clock time. Dan Hoff sets his tee. Prepares to kick. And here it is. No, he's going to kick it long and out of bounds. So Romulus will have the ball again at the 35-yard line. And there was a late hit on the play. And the officials, I don't think are going to call it. Looked like Alex Williams was cheap-shotted there. And there is not going to be a call on the play. Well, the officials are talking it over right now. No, there will not be a call. Romulus takes over, 1st and 10. You could hear the crowd boo as the hit was after the whistle. Split right, twins to the left, single backfield for Romulus. Trying to keep the Vikings away from a comeback. They're going to throw that wide receiver screen. Mulholland there to make the play. Alfred Chadwick is going nowhere fast. The Vikings converge on the ball, and very quickly we've got more skirmishes after the whistle.
So things look to getting a little bit heated up on the field there as the players are getting into it after the plays, and one of these times it's going to hurt one of the teams with a personal foul.
Now the Vikings starting to get really fired up over there as they found some life and could still come back and win this football game. They've just got to stop this Romulus offense. They've got a 2nd down. Haslett shows blitz. Boykins hands it to Russell. Russell explodes. Cutting back. 1st down. Fumbles the ball. Haslett's got it. And I think they're going to whistle. Oh, they're going to give it to the Vikings. What a play. Oh, Nelly.
So Haslett's offense is going to come back on the field after an awesome recovery there, and Haslett's got life now.
The Vikings can come right back into this game. I thought the officials were going to rule it down. It looked like he hit the ground first, but apparently not.
Maybe the ball was coming free a little bit here. And
all right, we might be able to get another look at this. Here's another shot.
It looks like, it did come free.
It was knocked out right before he hit the ground. A great call there, and the crowd is alive. Wing left for the Vikings. Fakes the handoff to Shepard. Shively keeps it. 1st down for the Vikings inside the 40-yard line of Romulus. And Romulus trying to rough him up a little bit after the play, but the clock is stopped at 9 minutes for the 1st down. Here come the Vikings. Hurry up offense. Eric, wing left. Barnhart, Shepard in the backfield. Clock will roll again. Shively. He's going to hand it to Barnhart. He's gone. Logan Barnhart is going to score. Touchdown, Vikings. Holy mackerel. I don't think I've ever seen a team with this much heart in years, Jeff. The Vikings, when it looked like there was no hope, when it looked like there was nothing left, have found something inside that heart of steel to come right back, roll right back into this game, and they are only down by a touchdown now.
Haslett's right there, and great blocking by the offensive line. They opened up a huge hole for Logan, and he just ran right through it for a touchdown.
This is amazing, Jeff. And there's the extra point. The Vikings, 28. Romulus, 34. They're within 6 points now. Oh, what a game, Jeff.
And we got the replay here as there's a huge hole. And then Logan just outruns number 5 there, and it's easy running from there on.
Logan didn't outrun him last time. He definitely was going to do it that time. Travis Hamby was beaten on that play. And the Vikings.
And now the clock really doesn't become too much of a factor. You just got to hold them on defense and get the ball back and hopefully put it back in the end zone again.
Only down by a touchdown. What a big turnover there by Romulus. And the cries of "Let's Go Blue" start coming out of this Viking cheering section. Fans were here putting blankets down last night, getting set for tonight's game. You could not find a parking spot. And the noise is almost deafening here at Viking Stadium as this crowd is pumped that their team is right back in the thick of things. We said it was going to be a shootout, and we did not lie.
Danhoff getting set to kick off here, and
I think
see if he just puts it out of bounds again.
I think that's what he's going to do here, Jeff. You really don't need the onside kick at this situation. You just need to get the ball back. And Haslett's defense has stopped him the last 2 times. They're going to have to do it again. But there's no time like the present for this Viking team. And no, they are going to kick it deep. It's going to be taken by Chadwick. Trying to reverse his field. He'll be eaten up by the Vikings at his own 30-yard line. Boy, Haslett's pumped up now. Romulus. The pressure is now on them here, Jeff, to get some points on the board and move the ball and try to take the time off the clock.
Romulus has got a very good offense. Remember, they can move the ball at any time, and Haslett's defense has really got to step up, and they got the momentum now. Let's see if they can keep it.
Split right. Split left. I formation backfield. One tight end to the left for Boykins. He's going to fake the handoff to Thompson, pitch it to Russell on the far sideline. He'll be dragged down after a gain of about 3 or 4 yards by the Vikings. They're going to have to tackle Russell on this drive.
We're just seeing some great football now, Evan. It's just both teams are playing stellar games.
8 minutes left in the game. Romulus leads by 6. At one point, they were up 34-14. It is now 34-28. They're going to give it to Russell again, and he fumbled. The Vikings have got the ball. First down. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Jeff. He ran all over the field. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got 250 yards, but those 2 fumbles are going to be what he's going to be remembered for at this game, Jeff, because it's given the Vikings all kinds of opportunities, and they've got the ball again. Just when Romulus thought they might have had this game in the bag, they turn it over twice.
There's a look at that fumble.
What a play. And there, we missed the offensive play there. It was a give to Shepard, and he picked up about 4 or 5 yards on the carry.
Actually, he picked up no yards on the carry there.
Oh, it looked to me like he had some room, but apparently not. I was trying to watch the replay screen. Here's Shively. He's going to hand it to Barnhart. And he finds room up the middle. Down to about the 31-yard line of Romulus. That Viking offense needs to get another score here. Still about 4 yards to go to get the first down.
Big play.
Romulus looks really down here, Jeff. Those 2 turnovers have just taken the life right out of them, and they're getting a little tired out. And the Vikings are looking to capitalize. Barnhart shuffles forward. Don't think he picked it up. It's going to be 4th down. Be close, though. He's only got about a yard to go.
So here it is right here. Haslett's offense got to pick up a first down here.
Clock rolling inside of 6.5 minutes left. Vikings trail by 6, 4th down and 1. Shively signals for more noise. They're going to give it to Shepard. He may not have gotten it, Jeff. He was wrapped up behind the line and brought down. I don't think he got it, Jeff. First down, Romulus. What a disappointment for Haslett, as it looked as though they were going to be able to come right down and take the lead. Unable to do so, but their defense, if they come up with another stop, can still give that offense life. They've got 6 minutes remaining on the clock. They're only down by 1 score, but they're going to have to stop them here, Jeff. It is absolutely imperative. The crowd not giving up yet, and neither are the Vikings. I formation. And we've got flags everywhere, and I think Boykins was calling the signals, and one of his men jumped early. Yes, we've got a false start on Romulus. So to back him up 5 yards.
So Haslett's defense gets a little help there, and Romulus has backed himself up to a 1st and 15 hole, and the way Haslett's defense is playing, this is a pretty big hole, Ev.
Not going to be easy for Romulus to pick up this first down. Earlier in the game, they were picking up first downs when they wanted to and how they wanted to, but the Vikings defense is really toughened up. And Barnhart going to ask a question of the official here. The clock is stopped dead at 5 minutes, 59 seconds. Must be some discrepancy here on the field. As Coach Port trying to communicate with the official here, as well as Coach Charlie Alduski.
Interesting to see what's going on.
Oh, they're going to put some time on the clock. And they're going to replenish the time on the clock, I think, to 6:18. Nope, 6:28 they're going to put up there. That could be crucial later in this game, Jeff.
You never know when that's going to come into play.
Good job there by the coaches to speak their mind there to get that time back on the clock. Because if Haslett gets the ball back, they may need a little more time. They do have all 3 of their timeouts left, as does Romulus. And it's really starting to get cold up here, Jeff.
Yeah, it's starting to get chilly.
And they're still discussing something down on the field. Oh, looks like they're going to get things set and ready to go here now. The Romulus Eagles with a first down and 15. Still giving it to Russell, but he is going to be wrapped up and brought down after a gain of only a couple. And the Vikings have just started to dominate this game, Jeff. They've just really picked things up in the last few possessions.
Shows what a little confidence will do for a team there as Vikings put some points on the board, get right back into this game, and Haslett's defense is answering the challenge right now.
A little confidence and a whole heck of a lot of heart shown by the Vikings here tonight. There's the pitch to Russell. He's going to reverse. And they've got room. To the 40, the 45, out of bounds, down. He was hit well after the play, and they're going to tack on 15 yards. As he was hit on the Haslett sideline, flags went flying immediately. And boy, that was not smart by Haslett.
You got to use your head on that one. He was definitely going out of bounds. He wasn't going to try to pick up any more yards.
They just hammered him.
Not a smart play at all by the defense there.
And that's going to tack on 15 more yards to add insult to injury. Here's another look as he's going to get right by that out of bounds line. And I'm not sure who it was that hit him. It looks like number 33, Logan Barnhart, actually.
Just didn't need to
hit on him. And a first down inside the Viking 40 at about the 37-yard line is the Romulus offense. They have come back to life. And there's the handoff to Russell. Brought down by Stocker. He still picks up about 5 yards on the play. Haslett defense has got to make a stop here, Jeff. Same formation for Romulus. They're going to give it to Russell again. First down. No. Maybe he was stopped right before it. It looked like he had a clear pathway before Alex Williams came up and put a big hit on him, stopping him about a yard shy of the first down. Excuse me.
Big play there as looked like he for sure had the first down yardage there, Evan.
Williams came up and just made a great play there for the Vikings. And the Vikings need a big play here with 3rd down and 1. The Eagles. The Vikings trailing by 6. At one point they trailed by 20. There's the handoff up the middle. Good for a first down with Thompson. He actually picks up about 5 yards on the play. No, actually, they're going to say his knee went down after about 3, but it's still going to be a first down for Romulus.
So Haslett probably expecting Russell to get the ball there, and they hand it to number 44, Charles Thompson, and he easily picks up the first down.
So with a fresh set of downs, the Romulus Eagles getting things set up. A score here would really make it difficult for Haslett to get back into things because they have a 2-possession lead. But if the defense can hold, they can give their offense a chance. And they jump off sides. Brandon Harden will give him 5 yards. And Harden obviously upset with himself there. In a game like this, you just can't afford mistakes. But that 5th penalty really hurt because Romulus would be back at about their own 35 right now, and instead they're inside the Haslett red zone, about the 19-yard line. 1st and 5 for the Romulus Eagles. Haslett needs another big play. They're going to give it to Russell. He squeezes forward for a few.
2nd and short, though, Evan, as that penalty is going to cost them here if they can pick up a first down. Is only about a yard to go for the first down, and 3 downs to do it.
It's going to be 2nd down, about 2 yards. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remain in the 4th quarter. Romulus on top, 34-28. There's the handoff to Russell. First down. And Romulus will have a first down right around the Haslett 10, probably about the 11-yard line. So they can still get a first down. But they're going to have to move it awful close.
So Haslett's defense is really going to have to dig down deep here, Ev.
They're going to have to find something, Jeff. There's the handoff to Russell. Hit in the backfield and brought down. Big play for Haslett. Timeout is called now, as the Viking defense will discuss what to do here. Great play there, as it looked like Russell actually ran into his own blocker, and then Haslett swallowed him up very quickly in the backfield.
We're going to have a replay, I think, coming up here. There it is. And he runs into his own blocker there, number 71, and then Haslett's defense just piles up on him.
So with 2:48 left, it'll be second down and 10 yards to go from the Viking 11-yard line. The Romulus offense, the biggest play of this drive was that pass to the right-hand side that went for about 15 yards. Then the Viking penalty added 15 more to it and moved them deep into Haslett territory. But the Vikings can make up for it here if they can stop them.
Haslett's got to come up with a stop here.
The crowd trying to do everything to bring this team together. The fake to Russell. He's going to throw. Boykins. Oh, what a play by Logan Barnhart. Jumping in front of the pass and knocking it down. Not only does that bring up 3rd and 10, Jeff, it also stops the clock.
Awesome play by Logan there, as it looked like he read what the quarterback was going to do. Just kind of waited and jumped right in front right at the end there and saved the touchdown.
Boy, perfect timing by Barnhart as he knocked the ball right out of the air.
We've seen some great coverage from Logan tonight. He's done it on the offensive end, but he's also played great defense out on the corner there all alone, and you know it's tough to play out there.
2 receivers in an I formation backfield for Boykins. He's going to give it to Russell. He's not going to have the first down. Timeout, Vikings. And finally, the play is blown dead with 2:33.
Haslett calls a timeout here. See if Romulus tries to kick a field goal. If they do kick a field goal, it'll give them a 9-point lead, which makes it a 2-possession game, Evan.
Now, Romulus, if you recall, Jeff, at the end of the first half, elected to go for that touchdown. Oh, have a look at the replay here first. He was stopped right about the 5-yard line. But, Jeff, as I was getting back to that, at the end of the first half, when Romulus had the ball just right around here, deep in Haslett territory, and they had that final play with 4.4 seconds left, they opted to go for the touchdown instead of the field goal, and the ball was underthrown and incomplete. Now, if they had gone for the field goal there, they would be up by 9 points here, and there would be a lot less pressure on them. But now it's decision time on that bench. Head coach Mark Woodson is going to have to figure something out here.
It looks like he's going to go for it. I don't see number 10, Derek Plave, the kicker, coming onto the field here. So here's the game right here, Evan.
This is huge, Jeff. They're going to pitch it to Russell. He knocks a man over but does not get in. He could be close to a first down. He is close to a first down. And we'll see where they spot it. They may have to measure. No, they're going to, let's see. Well, one of the officials signaled Viking ball, but now they're going to bring the chains over.
There was some unbelievable hitting on that play, Ev, as he ran it right into a crowd of people, and everybody was hitting there.
What a hard run there by Fred Russell, though, as he just knocked a couple Vikings out of the way and moved towards that end zone. And it's going to be very close, Jeff.
Everybody on that play showed everything they had, Evan, and that's what makes for a great football game. That's what we've seen tonight.
The Viking season right now stands with the chains. and they did not get the first down. The Vikings take over with 2.5 minutes left, and this may come back to haunt Romulus.
We got a replay here as he pitches it out to Russell. There's a lot of people over there, and then he just gets hammered. Some hard hits. So Haslett's defense does the job, and their offense has got to go 99 yards here.
Well, it's not going to be easy, Jeff, but tell me this is not a storybook setup for the Vikings to come right back into this game.
We could have a drive of our own here, Ev.
2:27 remaining in the game. Vikings 1st and 10 from their own 1. They cannot afford a loss here. And he's going to put it up to throw to Jeff Smith. It's complete. Brought down from behind at the 30-yard line. First down, Vikings.
Jeff Big Daddy Smith with the reception there, and he was wide open, and Shively put it right on the money, and they got breathing.
Here come the Vikings. Look out, Romulus. .2:15 remaining. Shively rolls to his right, brought down from behind. Haslett with only 1 timeout left is going to have to hurry up and get some plays called here. With the ball at their own 30. Under 2 minutes now. They got to get that clock stopped. Ehrig, wing left. Shively. He's going to throw again. Batted down by number 5, Chavis Hamby, as he just came over and made a great play. The ball was intended for number 20, Ehrig, but that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Vikings.
Shively would have put that just a little bit higher, would have got over the outstretched arms of number 5, and Ehrig had a little bit of running room there.
The Vikings need to pick up some yards here as the down markers may become more of their enemy than the clock at this point. The handoff is to Barnhart. He's got a first down out near the 45-yard line. Clock will stop momentarily until they can get the chains set. First down for the Vikings. 1:35 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Haslett's going to have to do a little bit more hustling here, having a lot of time wasting.
Got to do something here. Rolling down to about a minute. Barnhart again! And he's going to be dragged out of bounds inside the 35. What a play, Jeff. I don't think I've seen a football game like this in a long time.
We're definitely witnessing something special here, Ev. He gets out of bounds, and that'll stop the clock and give Haslett a little bit of time in the huddle here. And 1:13 left. We got a replay coming up here as Logan bounces outside, makes a move to the outside, and then gets dragged down out of bounds.
And Romulus is going to call for timeout. And the Vikings are fired up here with 1:13 on the clock. 1 timeout remaining, trailing by 6 points. The winner of this game moves on next week to the state semifinal. Both teams are undefeated, standing at 10-0. And the Vikings just to come down and score here. They've been playing great, and Barnhart picking up that last big run really helped things out. They're at the 35-yard line. There's a look at Barnhart.
Logan's really done his job this second half, as he didn't have a great first half, but he's really picked it up and been a real big contributor, big leader for Haslett in this second half.
Well, folks, in case you're just joining us, you're tuned in to one of the best football games, if not the best football game this high school has ever seen. The Vikings at one point trailed by 20. They now trail by 6 and are only 30 yards away from tying the game up, and they handed it to Ehrig, and he was wrapped up and brought down as it looked like they were going to try to do a little trickery there. Clock rolls inside of a minute now. Shively trying to get the play called off. And he's going to throw under pressure. Escapes one man. And he will be brought down. Gets out of bounds at the 30, though. Shy of the first down. 37.8 seconds remaining in the game. And I've got a feeling, Jeff, that not a lot of the spectators here tonight have any fingernails left, as they've been probably biting them through the course of these last couple of minutes. Haslett still with one timeout remaining. 37 seconds on the clock. Shively gives it to Barnhart. Pushed around, close to the first down. The officials are going to stop the clock. They're going to give him a first down. 31 seconds remain. And calls their last timeout. That could have been a big mistake there, Jeff. You had the clock stopped. You might have wanted to run a play and down the ball. And,
I don't know.
Throw an incomplete pass, but oh man, what a game.
Wow. That's all I can say right now, Ev. I mean, Haslett starts this drive on their own 1 yard line, completes a pass to Jeff Smith, gets it out to the 30, and then starts moving the ball from there. They're now on Romulus's 31 yard line with 31.2 seconds left on the clock in the best high school football game I know I've ever seen.
Wow, Jeff, we've played in them. We've watched them. We've seen a lot of different teams play over the years, but still don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. The season on the line. 30 seconds to decide what will happen here. Barnhart is split left. Don't be surprised. Give it to Eric here. Try to trick him. Shively will throw. Brought down. The Romulus crowd goes nuts. They cannot stop the clock. They've got to down the ball. 20 seconds. They try to get things set up. 16, 15, 14. Shively downs the ball. Haslett with 13.5 seconds remaining.
And if you're Nick there, I think he's trying to make something happen, and I mean, I'm not on the field, and I know that it's tough, but you would hope that he would throw it away in that situation and not eat up so much time there.
Still a great job there by Shively to feel that pressure coming in from his backside.
He's played an excellent, excellent game tonight, leading his Vikings down the field in this last drive.
And the Vikings looking like they're going to put another pass play in. Shively looking for Barnhart. He catches it and laterals it. Hook and Leonard Aylors! No, he's down at the 1 yard line with 5 seconds remaining.
Whoa!
Couldn't get any better than this. I have never seen
what a play call.
A hook and ladder. I don't think I've seen that. Actually, the ball is the ball is at the 1 yard line. This is the game. Clock running. They've got to call the play. They get it off. Throws. Touchdown, Vikings!
Holy cow, Evan, you can't ask for anything more than that. No time on the clock. It's going to come down to the extra point. I can't even believe it, Ev.
I am completely speechless right now, Jeff. And you know what? Coach Charlie Otluski, if you're watching this game right now, that was a hell of a play call right there.
Gutsy call, man.
Holy cow, to timeout Romulus.
It's a little like a JJ
Oh,
now,
man.
And Hazlett's got to feel pretty confident because he is a great kicker.
This is truly amazing, Jeff. Haslett banding together.
Haslett never gave up. They showed the most heart I've ever seen any team show. And if they move on, they deserve it.
Well, Jeff, I'm going to give you this play to call on your own. I'm going to go see if I can get Coach Charlie Otluski. If they miss and it goes into overtime, I'll be right back up.
So here it is. If he misses, game goes into overtime. If Danhoff puts it through the uprights, this one's over, and Haslett goes with one of the best comeback I've ever seen in high school football. Oh, and you saw it there. And J.J. Danhoff hits the left crossbar, or the right crossbar. And we're gonna go into overtime, tied at 34.
Well, Jeff, I could not believe that. J.J. Danhoff, who's played so great the entire year.
Here's the touchdown right here. Shively rolls out, time runs out. Pat the Assassin Saltzgaber in the end zone for the touchdown there.
It was Saltzgaber in the end zone?
It was Pat Saltzgaber, and
well, I think did we make the call as Jeff Smith, I think? I couldn't tell. It was hard to see from our vantage point. That side of the field is just really difficult to see. And we have got overtime, Jeff, and as I was saying before, you can't blame J.J. Danhoff in this situation. The extra point going off the upright. He's played wonderful all year. He's made a couple extra points here tonight. But for those of you not familiar with the high school time format, each team gets a possession. They both start at the 10-yard line and have 4 plays to score. Regular rules apply. So, for instance, if Haslett gets the ball and scores a touchdown, and then Romulus gets the ball and scores a touchdown, we replay the entire thing. But say, for instance, Haslett scores a touchdown, and then Romulus is intercepted, and Haslett returns it for a touchdown, they win. Or if Romulus is stopped, Haslett wins. And you can also, I think in high school football, I'm not sure, I think that you'd be able to kick a field goal. But this is just amazing, Jeff. Just amazing.
But how about Haslett?
How about
99 yards with 2.5 minutes left. They score with no time on the clock.
How about Pat Saltzgaber catching it up? He had to just feel so great hauling that one in. And Pat, my apologies to you if we called it as Jeff Smith. It was so hard to see it from up here, and it was a big moment. And this is just unbelievable, Jeff. The Haslett team down by 20 points, looking completely defeated. Romulus looking unstoppable. Russell fumbles twice. Haslett comes right back into it.
And we got a picture there, J.J. Danhoff being consoled by the whole Haslett sideline, and Andy Hayes and
Connor McDivitt.
Connor McDivitt down there in the sidelines, and everyone in Haslett right now is with J.J., and he's probably feeling horrible, but he's played great.
Can't blame the game on him, Jeff. But the game is still not over yet. It's tied at 34. And I'm shivering up here, Jeff. It is really getting cold.
Yeah, the temperature has dropped to extreme lows for a football game here.
It's amazing. There's a look at Danhoff. A lot of people sighing in utter disbelief when that kick went off the upright,
but one person doesn't win or lose a game.
Never happens like that, Jeff. And that whole Viking team has played so hard, and we're going to get the another coin toss here, and this is to determine who will have first possession. Remember, this is not sudden death overtime.
Haslett definitely carries the momentum into overtime.
This is just amazing, Jeff. You got to think Haslett with that pounding running game is a good opportunity to get right in and score. But Romulus is able to throw the ball, and as well as run with Russell. So both teams, this is impossible to say who's going to win this one here, Jeff. There's the coin
It's
toss.
going to be fun to watch it play out.
And looks like Romulus has won. And let's see what they elect to do. The smart thing to do is to elect to go defense first. That way, you know if you need to score or not. If you go offense first, you just got to punch it in and hope. And actually, I still can't tell. Barnhart's conferring with his coach. The official pointed at Romulus, and it appears as though Romulus will have the ball first.
So we're still unsure as to who won the coin toss, but nevertheless, Romulus is going to have the ball. And Haslett's defense is going to be on the field.
This is just unbelievable, Jeff. Just a storybook comeback, Jeff.
Amazing is what it is, Ev. I mean, if you're down 3 touchdowns to a Romulus team that's done pretty much whatever they wanted, I don't think many people expected Haslett to come back, and especially not in that fashion with a 99-yard drive that ended on the last play of the game with a touchdown to Pat Saltzgaber.
You got to wonder what's going through the minds of those Vikings and of the Eagles. The last overtime game for the Vikings, technically speaking, was when this senior class was in 8th grade hosting the Mason Bulldogs, quarterbacked by a young man by the name of Jeffrey Mulder, who is sitting by my side, and the Vikings won that game. Take a look here. Romulus sends a man in motion. They're going to hand it to Russell. He's got a lot of room on the left-hand side. Russell, close, no cigar. But he's got the ball down to about the 2-yard line. And a great first play there if you're Romulus.
Cahill with a big stop, though. He holds Russell from getting into the end zone.
Came very, very close. Jeff, I'm still amazed that Coach Otluski has that much in his bag of tricks to pull out that hook and ladder. This time Russell is stuffed and he'll go backwards. Brandon Harden is there for the Vikings. What a show of emotion. And they're back to the 5-yard line on 3rd down.
Huge play by Brandon to put Romulus back a few yards, and 3rd down here.
Keying right there on that running back.
There's the replay. He's got Harden, just gets back in the backfield and hammers down Russell.
Let's see what Romulus does here. They've still got 2 plays, and they're at the Haslett 5. They fake it to Russell. Throws it, corner of the end zone. Incomplete. 4th down for Romulus.
Barnhart on the coverage again, and I don't know if we've seen a pass completed over at Barnhart's side. Maybe the one touchdown early in the first half where he threw it into 3 defenders, but
and Romulus calls a timeout, their final one. And I'm not really sure how the timeout rule works in overtime, Jeff.
I think each team receives an extra timeout going into the overtime session.
Well, we'll see what happens here as they are going to discuss the play call. And this is a huge play here because you know that if Haslett gets the ball back, barring a turnover, that the way their offense has been playing, Jeff, they're going to punch it in and score.
It seems that way. But 4th and 5 right here, 4th and goal actually, and Romulus has got to put in the end zone. Wow, we've seen so many plays of this magnitude in this game, Evan. It's just been an unbelievable joy.
There's a look at the banner over there, Heart of Steel. And the Vikings have definitely showed that here tonight. They've burned the bridge behind them and left no retreat, as they have put it all on the line here tonight, and it's going to come down to the Boykins with that I formation. They're going to give it to Russell. He goes outside. He's got speed, and he's got the corner. No, he doesn't. Dragged out of bounds, just shy by Logan Barnhart. And the Vikings will have the ball. Oh, wow.
Logan Barnhart has played not only an unbelievable offensive game, but probably the best defensive game that he's ever played.
This is just amazing, Jeff. I'm lost for words.
If Haslett scores here, it's over.
Execution is going to be the name of the game here for the Vikings.
Romulus' defense has to stop Haslett from scoring any points that the game is over.
And we talked earlier about speed between Barnhart and Russell, and well, if there's any argument now, I don't think so. They're going to give it to Barnhart, hit in the backfield, brought right down.
No gain there for Logan.
And that's going to silence the crowd here for a moment, but they're still waiting with anticipation here, hoping for that Haslett victory. Shively with Shepard, wing to the right. Ehrig, Barnhart in the backfield. Shively hands it to Barnhart, spins, and is taken down after a short gain. And that third down.
Be interesting to see if Haslett goes back to the pass. That has been working the last couple times they've tried it.
Let's see what they do here. This whole cycle could happen all over again if the Vikings fail to score. They've got 2 plays to do it, 9 yards to go. Ehrig, wing left. Barnhart, Shepard in the backfield. Shively gives it to Barnhart again, and he's stopped again. Romulus comes up big on that play, and Haslett's going to use their timeout and discuss what they're going to do here with their 4th down. They're going to kick it. Dan Hoff coming back out, and he's got another try. Poetic justice here.
Redemption here.
Been a lot of games decided by field goal kicking, and we wouldn't have even gone into overtime had Romulus kicked a field goal either at the end of the first half or late in the second half when they were driving. So Romulus's kicking game was not used here, and the Vikings are using their timeout, trying to figure things out. They are going to kick here. Once again, if it's good, the Vikings win.
And we know JJ's got the leg to do it, and we've seen him make longer field goals than this. But none has ever meant this much.
Nothing has ever meant this much. First time these Haslett Vikings have seen the lights of the MHSAA playoffs in years. Jeremy Krang, Bubba Telfor to snap. Pat Saltzgaber, who that touchdown to hold. JJ Danhoff to kick, and Romulus takes a timeout to try to ice Danhoff.
And you got to think, Evan, that last that last extra point's going through his head. May that be good or bad for JJ?
Not sure, but as we talked about at the coin toss, Jeff, that it was imperative for Haslett to be able to go on defense first because this gives them this opportunity here. Had they gone on offense first, they'd be going for it right now and looking to get that touchdown. There's another look at Logan Barnhart, the man of the hour here. We've called his name so much. His first half was very disappointing and things were not going his way, but he has exploded in the second half, both offensively and defensively, as he looks on. There's nothing more he can do. It's all in the hands of the snapper, the holder, and in the feet of the kicker. The Vikings asking for quiet, but there will definitely be a volcanic eruption here at Haslett. First one on record, I might add, if he makes this kick. Saltzgaber calls the signal. There it is, high snap, put down. It's up, it's good! No, it's no good! It's no good! Wide to the left, and Romulus hangs in there. We will start the entire cycle again. I thought that kick was good, Jeff.
Looks good to me, he just didn't have the angle.
Oh, man. The agony drags on longer and longer. Romulus will have the ball again. I thought that kick was right down the middle, Jeff. Unbelievable.
Wow. And you got to feel for JJ now. I mean, 2 chances and you just got to feel for him.
That Viking defense trots back onto the field once again into double overtime here at Viking Stadium. The tundra now well frozen here into the night. And in case you're just joining us here on TV 25 Sports, this has just been an amazing game between 2 undefeated teams. Romulus came in with one of the most explosive offensive I've ever seen from a high school team, just tearing up that Viking defense for the first 3 quarters of the game, putting up 34 points.
Here's the kick. Looks good and just hangs just a little bit right there.
And I could see it there in the replay. A good call by the officials, as sometimes it's hard to see.
So the Romulus offense trots back onto the field here, and
looking at the banner in the end zone that Romulus is staring at, it says, "You gotta want it to win it. We want it bad." The Vikings came to play here tonight. But here
so did Romulus, though.
I know.
They've seen a great game.
They've been playing wonderful. Boykins fakes the pitch, hands it to Thompson. Trotter and Mulholland there to bring him down at about the 6-yard line.
So probably not what was expected there out of Romulus. Probably expected to either throw a fade route or most likely just give it to Fred Russell, and they hand it off to Charles Thompson and pick up about 4 yards.
They've got 3 more plays here as neither team was able to score in that first overtime. Boykins with a split right and a split left. I formation. Drops back to throw. He's got pressure from behind on Mulholland. Gets it off. Throws it down the middle. Incomplete. 3rd down. Boy, that Haslett Blue Wave defense. Just pounding on Romulus here as they had great coverage. Mulholland provided the heat. Boykins had to get that ball off before getting lunched by the Vikings. Let's see what they do here. Romulus, it looked like they had this game in the bag. They've got problems now. They're going to have to get some points on the board. They hand it to Russell. Wrapped up by Mulholland back at the 10-yard line.
Jimmy Mulholland with another big play. We talked about it last week. All he does Romulus make big plays, and once again he makes another one. He's Russell for a 4-yard loss and makes it 4th and 10 here for Romulus.
Now let's see if Romulus, I don't think they're going to kick here.
I don't think it'd be very smart for Romulus to kick a field goal.
They moved the ball with that, and they're going to call another timeout here. I don't know if it's unlimited timeouts in this situation or what, Jeff, but
possibly
maybe one each.
every time both teams get a possession, it goes into another overtime, and for every overtime, each team receives another timeout. That's my best guess. But Haslett's defense has answered the call, and actually both defenses have answered the call, and it's just been a great, great game. And the atmosphere is electric too. The crowds are going crazy on both sides.
Score tied at 34 apiece. Haslett defense was perhaps the biggest play of the year.
So here we go, Evan. 4th and goal for Romulus.
Split left. Single back is Russell. Tight end to the left. No, double tight ends. They fake it. Pressure. Gets it off. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Romulus. It was caught by number 6, Carlton McCulley. And what a play there by the Eagles, as this Haslett crowd is now dead silent. Stuffed for 3 plays in a row, and then they get the ball in the end zone for that touchdown.
Haslett gets another possession though, as the game is not over.
And a big extra point coming up here for Romulus. They need to make this here to put the pressure on the Vikings to score a touchdown and an extra point. Derek Plav to kick. Puts it down. Oh, it's no good. He shanked it. It looked like the hold was bad. So the Vikings still with a great opportunity to win this game.
That wasn't even close, Ev. That didn't have a chance from the time it left his foot.
It looked like McCulley, who was holding, put the ball down wrong, and they missed it. Wide to the left, and well wide at that. So the nail biting continues as we are starting to reach the climax of this football game.
Not a night for the kickers, Ev.
Probably not. Haslett down by 6. They need to score a touchdown. They got 4 plays to do it. Shively hands it to Ehrig. He's going to score. Touchdown, Vikings, right away. Danhoff coming out again. And Jeff, there's an old saying that the 3rd time is a charm. And if it's true, the Vikings are going to the state semifinals.
So it didn't take Haslett long to answer, and Peter Ehrig around the right side with excellent downfield blocking by Logan. And
Haslett just deciding to just quit with the child's play and put the ball in the end zone. Tied at 40. Danhoff to kick again. He's had 2 opportunities to win the game so far. This his 3rd. It's down. We got flags. And it's good anyway. Let's see. And I think, let's see what it is.
If the flags are on Romulus, this game's over.
If they're on the Vikings, could be different. That's it. It's on Romulus. The Vikings are going to the state semifinals in a 20-point comeback. Absolutely amazing.
J.J. Danahoff makes the last one, and that's all that he needed. Haslett's going to go away 41-40. Look at the pandemonium on the field. People going crazy. I can't even believe it, Ev.
Students rushing everywhere. We even got some band members out there. It's going to be a long bus ride home for those Romulus Eagles, Jeff.
And Romulus is going to end their season 10-1.
They lose this game that they really, to be honest, Jeff, should have won. They really should have put the game away when they had the opportunities, and they didn't.
Romulus
but
gave
I will give everything to the Haslett Vikings for not throwing in the towel, for playing their hearts out and winning a game that they did deserve to win. The Vikings deserved to win the game because they played much harder than Romulus through the stretch. Romulus, this is a game they could have won. They didn't. And my hat's off. All congratulations to the Haslett Vikings on one of the best showings I've ever seen.
Both teams are excellent, excellent football teams. I can't even believe what tonight, Evan. This is the best game I've ever seen in high school football, and this one's going to be remembered for a long, long time.
This will definitely be the talk of the town, not just tomorrow or the day after, but it'll be a legend that's passed on to grandkids and their grandkids, as this was really a storybook game. Much like the storybook games of old, the Doug Flutie Hail Mary pass, the Michigan comeback against the Virginia Cavaliers, the Michigan State win last week over the Ohio State Buckeyes. Amazing game, and congratulations to the Haslett Vikings.
Both teams deserve a ton of credit in this game. Both teams are excellent football teams, and Fred Russell, if he wants to continue playing football, I think he's got a future in college. He must have had over 300 yards tonight, or been very, very close to.
Definitely.
Romulus is one excellent football team.
Definitely, Jeff. Hats off to Fred Russell and the Romulus team. But the Haslett Vikings are the regional champions. They will go on next week to face yet another opponent in the next chapter. The Heart of Steel survived tonight, Jeff. But before we can sign off, I've got to say that Coach Charlie Atluski and the rest of the coaching staff completely amazed me here tonight. At halftime, I didn't know if the Vikings were going to be able to come back and mount a comeback of this magnitude, Jeff. I didn't know if they were going to be able to do it, but the coaches drew up some great schemes. They got things together. They called great play stretch, especially on that last possession, and helped the Vikings to win. And here's a look at that.
Williams Stadium at the Jackson High School field in Jackson.
Well, Coach Atluski and the entire Haslett Viking football team, we'd like congratulations from all of TV25 and everyone in this community. Thank you for watching here tonight. For Jeff Mulder, Brian Town, and the rest of the crew, I'm Evan Woodward. Good night.